Yes, welcome back to Spurs Unleashed, episode 5. And just because I was told I was a clickbaiter this week, I've entitled it Easy 3 Points at Man City. So thanks for watching. Spurs are winning 5-0. We'll see you all next week. That's how football shows should go. But this one won't. We got Perchy. How you doing, bro? You good? You well?
Good, thank you very much. We're on the road to Christmas.
We are on the road to Christmas, and we're also on the road to 26 subs from 12k. It feels like this has been a long journey. Like I feel like this is like the Spurs waiting for a trophy. Do you know what I mean? So, by the way, if you smash the subscribe button, if we hit 12k tonight, which is 26 people, we will be giving away a free shirt, Spurs shirt, or whoever you support, whoever wins it. Stel, how you doing, bro? You well?
Yeah, busy week, busy days. I'm tired, but well, looking forward to the football chat tonight. Good to see Will, Has, Perchy yourself. Let's get crack-a-lacking.
Good,
not
and
very
Will.
Convincing.
Yeah, it didn't, did it?
Tired,
It didn't.
I'm tired, man.
It didn't sound like he wanted to be here, did it? But Will, can you give me a bit more enthusiasm? How are you?
Yeah, you dragged me out of my, office. No, yeah, good to be here. I don't know what we're talking about today, so I'm sure it'll be fun. Whatever.
It's always fun. And quickly before we go to Has, run those likes up, people. Smash the likes. Please subscribe. Has, first of all, thank you for letting me come to your cafe today and experience some of your wonderful cuisine. I have been very happy all day with my food choices. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And thank you very much for popping in today. It was really nice to see you. Just want to say also, guys, please do smash the likes and make sure you subscribe to the channel. So few, how many is it now? 25 away from 12k.
26, yeah, 26
away. Let's get him to 12k tonight, guys. Come on. Also, it's lovely to be back. Lovely to be back tonight. I've been away from YouTube for a while because I've been busy, as Savva knows. But it's good to see you guys. Stel, Will, Perchy, everyone. Let's do it.
And just remember, I've been told this week, no opinions are allowed, all right? No predictions, no guessing. You're not allowed a prediction, okay? No predictions. Let's start. I'll start with you, Stel. Bentancur, 10 months out, comes back, plays, gets a massive injury. 3 months they reckon he's going to be out for, or in and around 10 to 12 weeks. The question I've got that I want us to discuss is, do we batten down the hatches with what we've got, with bissouma constantly picking up suspensions, with James Maddison's injury, SARS going and bissouma are going to African Cup of Nations? Do we have to buy to replace this guy now?
I wouldn't say buy to replace, but we need to buy for more cover, 100%. I'm a little bit fuming, to be honest with you, with our medical department, because he's gone down with an injury. They've come on, they've assessed him, and they've said play on. 4 minutes later, he breaks down. I want to know how much damage was done in those 4 minutes of him playing with that injury, because I think more damage was done with him staying on rather than just the tackle. I'm not saying the tackle hasn't caused a problem, but I think by allowing him to stay on after coming back from an ACL, that's actually furthered the damage, in my view. And I'm no expert, but that cannot be good, continuing with an injury. So again, the Spurs medical department need to be brought into question. And again, we just, we're allergic to stretchers at Spurs. We don't use stretchers. You've got to walk off the pitch, even if you've got one leg. So that for me, I was not impressed with at all. And I don't understand why we keep doing these silly things, especially the stretch bit as well. But yeah, look, we need backup. I mean, Maddison, we don't know when he's back fully fit. He might come back mid-January, but he's going to need 3-4 games to get back into the groove of it, right?
Yeah.
Bissouma, he's in, out. It's clear that when Højbjerg and Skip on the pitch at the same time, it's just like the last 3 years. We can't do it. We can't play Ange ball. We can't play any ball really with those two as a partnership. So if Bentancur's injured, Pape Sarr might be out for Christmas. For me, we need 2 midfielders long term. If we can get them both in January, do it. Minimum 1. We need to get minimum 1 in, 100%. He's out till February, which means he'll probably need another 2 games to get fitness. So really, I think Bentancur, will see him in March. the Bentancur that we were beginning to see after 3 games returning. So 100% we need a player, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, Will, it's worrying now, isn't it? I think Stel hit the nail on the head. It's always 2 injuries and we're back to Skip and Højbjerg. And as much as we want to keep using that as excuses in games, this is what we keep going into seasons with, Will. We keep going into seasons with these players as part of our squad. So at what point does it stop being an excuse and it starts becoming Spurs' fault?
Well, I mean, first of all, there's nothing you can't predict that Matty Cash is going to be. Well, I mean, maybe you can. He's done it often. So, but yes, we do need more depth, and I think everybody was, aware of that. But I mean, that takes a little bit of time. Just unfortunately, this has all kind of happened right at the high point of the season. Like if this happens in the first 2 to 3 weeks and we never reach top spot for a month and a half, are we really that upset? Or are we just kind of like, hey, let's go? For me, yes, I expect us, like, losing's not okay. But let me ask you a question. Let me ask the panel a question. If Arsenal lose Gabriel, Saliba, Rice, and Odegaard out of their team, which is the 4 of their 5 best players,
They're finished.
where would they be right now? Would they have lost 3 on the trot? Absolutely, right? So,
Yeah.
That's the way that I'm judging the situation. But if we don't go and buy players to cover that depth in January, then we're responsible, right? Once that January window opens, now the use of we've had injuries goes out the window, in my view. But
Yeah,
Konya, I think we should get that guy from Germany, Kone or Kana is what I call him, Baby bissouma.
Yeah. I mean, look, Has, there's a number of different ways to look at this. We knew it was going to take time to build a squad. But there are certain players that just still seem to be a year after year. And it's players as well that we still have fans that champion these players. Like I still see people going, oh, Skip's all right. I like Skip. And Højbjerg does a job. But these players are okay for 10 minutes at the end of a game. You can't be going into this period, can you, Has, with Højbjerg and Skip in your midfield, surely? Because that's just, I just see us getting overrun again.
Yeah, I agree. I think those two, I'll allude to what Stel said, they negate the way that we want to play, the type of football that we want to play, and it stifles us most of the time. And we said it before, look, Maddison, as great as he is, he's injury prone. Let's be honest. He's had a few injuries at Leicester City. Fantastic player, but without him, we just lose everything. But now it stands to reason that we've got the defensive players out as well. Sarr's out. Bissouma obviously served his suspension, but he's a walking yellow card, possibly a red card these days as well. But look, we definitely need signings. I think Sarr and Bissouma will be off in the winter for their AFCON games. And then obviously with the Bentancur injury, it was just so unfortunate of him to get injured straight after coming back into the team. We made a big thing out of it when he come back. All the players did. So it's a massive, massive blow for us. And I think even March has been too optimistic. I think he'll need some time to adjust again. I don't think he'll play much part in this season, but for sure, I think we need to look at least, if there is no money, a loan signing to plug the gap. Because, I mean, if you look at United, they loaned Amrabat in. There is quality out there. We just need to be clever and try and plug the gaps until we can get to the summer transfer window and get our injured players back.
Yeah, I mean, Perchy, where do you stand on this? I mean, yes, I take Will's point. Like, if Arsenal were to lose players as well, they get injured. But most clubs have injuries. Most clubs have injuries and are still not losing every game. If you look at Man United, have injury after injury, they're winning games. Newcastle are playing 17-year-olds in midfield with 4 18-year-olds on the bench. They're drawing with PSG and battering Chelsea. So how much is the injury excuse gonna? How long do you think Spurs get away with that for? Because everyone hyped us up. Now a few injuries, and let's be honest, I want to call this out. Someone on the chat, some people on the panel on the chat might disagree with me here. I still think it's only 3 first-team players that we're missing. I think we're really overemphasizing how many players are out injured because we're adding in Sessegnon, Richarlison, Perisic, they're not starters. So how long do you think Spurs can get away with this? Oh, well, it's okay. We're only losing because of injuries versus, hang on, this isn't acceptable anymore.
No, it's a good point. It becomes acceptable. No, anytime. It becomes what I would say. Man City's the free hit, right? I think we're all fair and understanding it's a free hit against Manchester City, because I don't think even if we were full strength would we go, we'll guarantee beat them. I think they're a very, very good side. So we would have given them a good go with our full strength team, but I still think they would probably have done more than us. But with the team we've got now, listen, it is just give it a go, give it a bit of a gamble and go. How long can we blame the injuries? I think you can, when you get to the likes of West Ham and Newcastle and then Forest, let hypothetical, we lose the next 4. Then do we start going, okay, hang on a minute, we've got to ask questions. If we've lost 7 on the bounce, I'm not saying we will, I'm just saying that in this hypothetical world, with these injuries, and we lose to Man City, we lose to West Ham, we lose to Newcastle, we lose to Forest away. I think we have to be fair and go, whoa, we've now got to ask questions here. Why are we still, like, you can only go so far, and it's admirable to keep playing the same way. And I'm not I'm not championing us changing the way we play football, but it only goes one way. Like, how long until people go, wait, we can't be losing 7. We're Tottenham Hotspur. We can't be losing 7 games on the bounce. And you brought up a good point about Newcastle. There's no excuses for Newcastle having injuries, right?
They're playing 17-year-olds in central midfield. 17-year-olds.
So we have to be balanced. But that's my point. We have to be balanced to go, well, there's no excuse. No one, they're not sitting there making excuses for Newcastle because they're winning games of football. They're going to the Parc des Princes against the likes of Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele and co. And deservingly deserve to win, apart from an absolute shocking handball decision that they get a penalty at the end. So what's the difference? I think we have to be fair with that, right?
Yeah, I mean, Stel, I think that the issue is that yes, we've played some good football, and we're going to get into a subject that you wanted to speak about with a bit later about other fan bases' criticism of Ange. We'll get into that a bit later, but Perchy touched upon a good point there, which I've seen brought up on loads of channels now. And whenever it's brought up, everyone just says, oh, no, he shouldn't have to change a thing. He shouldn't have to change. But surely, do you not adapt a little bit still to the personnel that you have got? I'm not saying complete wholesale changes, but if your midfield, for example, is Skip and Højbjerg, do you still continue to try and play this high-pressing energy game where you're on the halfway line when teams can run through them easily? Do you know what I mean? Do you adapt to mold and bend, or do you just keep doing what you're doing?
So against Wolves, we didn't do that and we lost.
No, I agree.
So that answers the question, no?
Well, I mean, it's one game. It's a one-game sample, right? It's one game.
And Wolves should have been
against the team we should have beat, right?
and we should have been 3, 4, 5 down against them. I mean, for me, this is very simple. This is what I see, and I've got my coach's hat on now, right? We finished 8th last season, 8th. And what's different from last season to this season other than the manager? If we're just focusing on players, we signed Maddison, Van de Ven, Solomon, Brennan Johnson, Vicario, Udogie came in. Am I missing someone else? Vicario, Brennan Johnson.
Sarr's seen more game time. Bissouma's seen more game time.
Yeah.
Okay, a few more players seen a bit more game time. Okay. Right.
Poro's seen more game time.
Oh, and Harry Kane. And we had Harry Kane last year. So with these new players, without Harry Kane, we were in the top 4 quite comfortably this season, right? I'm not going to say first. Let's just say top 4 comfortably. We've now taken a number of those players that he had out. Other than the goalkeeper and Brennan Johnson. Oh, and we lost Bissouma to suspension, Pape Sarr to injury. Richarlison, which I don't rate anyway, but he's a body, I guess. What we are now is that 8th place team from last season, because the ammunition that Ange was given to push us forward, he's lost his ammunition. So we're now, this is the 8th place squad, in effect, from last season. This is why this is happening. with regards to adapting, look, we can go into.
Is it though?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So okay, so this weekend
In fact,
against Man
worse.
City,
it's actually worse because we haven't got Kane to bail us out.
Okay, so this weekend against Man City,
yeah.
Tell me if I'm wrong, and I'm not counting Romero being suspended. That's his fault. That's not anyone else's fault. That's on Romero, right?
Yeah.
If we're looking this weekend from who's missing from an injury point of view, Bentancur, that we knew we had half of last season out anyway. Isn't it just VDV and Maddison? Other than that, missing.
But we're talking about Ange adapting. How do you adapt if you haven't got Romero? That's not Ange's fault. That's Romero. He's cost us.
I'm not blaming anything on. I'm not blaming anything on Ange. I'm not blaming.
Yeah, but the question, like Newcastle,
the question, how do we change it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we?
Ange can only change with what he's got. Injuries and suspensions mean he hasn't got those players, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can drop a bit deeper. We can do that, but when you drop deeper, you invite more pressure on. This team inviting pressure on is a capitulation waiting to happen. I get why fans want us to do it, but this was the criticism of previous managers. I think what fans want is a balance. Let's attack. Yeah, I'm all for that. But are there moments where we can drop off? My opinion is if we drop off without our best centre-backs and without our best holding mid, it's curtains. And I've seen it happen for the last 5 years when we do that. So we're in a difficult position where we want Ange to manoeuvre, but I think the manager is very limited to how he can manoeuvre. And in all credit to the guy, we said, listen, man, like, you've got to change it. Well, he completely changed it against Aston Villa. Kulu went in the 10. He started Lo Celso and Bentancur. He dropped Eric Dyer. He put Brennan Johnson on the right. All the changes we wanted, he did. Earlier on in the season, when we lost to Chelsea with that high line, everyone's like, you can't do that. Well, the next game after Wolves, we didn't play that high line. We still lost. I really, really think
but there's
we've got a lack of talent at this club to be
I agree still, but aren't we
even under a different system, Savva?
I agree, but and again, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I think sometimes people in the chat need to understand my role here as the kind of person running this show, that I'm chucking in questions for debate. I need people to understand I've not once ever said play a low block. I think, and still, hopefully, you've coached. Yeah, I've got my coaching badge. You've got your coaching badges. When fans talk about football, we seem to talk about either all-out attack or low block. There are a million other ways of playing in between a low block and all-out attack. So when I say things like, I just like us to drop a bit, I've never once said, let's fall back into Antonio Conte's low block. I need people to understand that for sure.
Balance. But the issue is, if you look at the Aston Villa goal, Savva, if you look at the Aston Villa goal where Ollie Watkins scored the winner, we weren't in a high block. We were deeper. Just one pass in between Emerson Davies. Both players were in. They weren't caught out high. They weren't caught out too deep. They were in a perfectly good position. Neither of them failed. Both of them failed to get across and either put a tackle or a block in. If Van der Ven or Romero on that pitch, 100%, some kind of block is coming in. Now, whether the block is successful or not,
Romero
I don't know.
just takes his legs out. What's up?
Something happens. Romero, okay,
and then misses the next three.
He's a gone.
Yeah, I just and I heard some fans saying, "Oh, but set pieces, you should have played Dyer on the pitch because he's got the height." Every fan across every channel at the start of this season, Man United, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, West Ham, everyone said, Tottenham fans, just you wait. You're one injury away from having Eric Dyer, and now they're saying you didn't play Eric Dyer. You all laughed at us that we would be one injury away from him, and now you're criticizing us for not playing him. Look, I'm absolutely bamboozled by what I'm hearing from people.
Stel, I agree. I don't want Eric Dyer in the team. I think he's absolutely awful. But I'll ask the question though, about the conversation started about, do we adapt our play, the way we play and stuff?
How, Perchy? And how do we adapt? To what?
Whatever. Listen, Ange is the manager, right? That's his job, right?
Yeah, but you can't say you need to adapt if you don't know how they need to adapt.
But my point, hear me out, and we'll find out minus Savva next week on Wednesday doing this exact show, that what happens, right? Because that's just a massive, massive hypothetical is we play this high line and Man City beat us 6 or 7-0. Where does the line cross from us going, okay, it's admirable to this is downright stupid? Where, like, by the way, I love the way we played. I'm just being devil's advocate in this bit, was the sense of where do we go? Because is it in game that you have to go, hang on a minute, we're getting battered here. Man City, I don't know what's happening. The likes of Jeremy Doku is absolutely tearing us to bits. Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Bernardo Silva, they are chopping through our midfield and our defense with ease. And then they could pam us. Then does it become an humbling and an embarrassment? Where does the line? Because where does the line cross from?
What do we do, Perchy? What do we do?
Hang on. I just want to put it out there. When you're saying what do we do, right? Yeah. I feel like we haven't got this mental injury list that everyone seems to think that we've got. Like against Man City, we've got, other than Bentancur, Sar's fit again. They've said Sar's fit. Bissouma's fit. Giovanni Lo Celso's fit.
Yeah.
Like, you isn't that Bissouma's job that you drop back 10 yards and he sits in front of the back? Like, I'm just confused as to if two players come out the team and all of a sudden we can't adapt.
But we do have those players coming back, so it's going to be better, right? So Bissouma now doesn't have those yellow cards hanging over his head, right? So I expect a good performance out of him in that midfield.
I agree.
Right? And so then it's up to him to keep, their midfielders and their strikers somewhat, quiet. That's his job now. And then you've got, you could just see the quality increase from Udogie being out to Emerson Royale playing on that left-hand side. Mm-hmm. And then even, to be honest with you, with Giovanni Lo Celso and Kulusevski in that midfield, I thought it worked pretty good. So I expect them to be able to create chances. They all, they created plenty of chances against Aston Villa, and Aston Villa is no slouch, right? Let's have it right. But the problem is we don't have any. I mean, who is our starter at left wing?
Well, he's going to play Brennan.
He's not a starter. Solomon's not a starter. Who's the starter?
Brian Hill.
I'll be honest.
I'll say this.
Yeah, but this is
in the 10 again. I think he'll play Kulu in the 10 again.
This is who he signed. Will, let's be honest. In the summer,
no, I'm asking who do you think is the starter on the left? Because he didn't sign Brian Hill and he didn't sign Perisic, right? So Solomon out with an
he's
ACL?
injured. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. That's
guys. Can I put something out there? Right. I honestly believe, right, that look, the Chelsea game we can debate. Down to 9 men. Down to 9 men is what cost us. Whether Ange tactically could have done different, whatever.
Yeah.
Down to 9 men. The Wolves game was a stinker. But the thing is, we can question Ange's team selection for that. I'm happy to do that. But what he did was he looked at that and said, "That's not happening again." He completely changed it next game. I think all of us were pretty excited to see how it comes out against Villa.
Agreed.
So
very
massively excited about that.
The fact he adapted and he tried something different is what we've always cried out for. He's done it. We still lost. I think that Villa game, without a question of a doubt, all the blame on that game, well, most of it goes on the attacking players. For us not to score more goals in that game with the chances we created, that punished us. Because the thing is, when you play this way, there's a risk in it, which is if you don't score with such dominance, the other team will eventually get in the game. And when they score, they will punish you. And you run out of steam doing it. And the only way you get over running out of steam is doing what? You bring on subs. Our subs stink right now. They absolutely stink. So we have
3 subs.
But
we had to score, Perchy. And so I agree. They failed. The attackers all failed us. They failed. Yeah. That's it. That's what fucked us.
See, I've got a different take on it. I think Ange isn't really worried about anything at the moment because I honestly think he's got, feels like as if he's got a free hit. There is the expectations probably aren't as great as it will be next season. This season is just about developing the team that he wants to sort of put out there for next season. So I don't think he's even under a lot of pressure. He doesn't look like someone who's under pressure. Having said that, obviously getting the points on the board in the first 10 games, for me, it's been pivotal now. You look at what's going on, had we not got those points on the board, where would we be right now? Where would be? We'd be languishing bottom half of the table somewhere. But, with expectations not that high at the moment, I mean, I'll put it to you guys. Is there any expectations on Ange for this season? Have the board said to him, we need to finish top 4, top 5? Or have they said to him, look, use this season to, develop the team, get the players that you want in the team and build something?
For me, there's an expectation. I have an expectation. I still have an expectation of third based on where we're sitting right now. I expect us to go into the January window.
Third?
Third.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I expect us to go into the January window, buy 2 players that actually contribute to the squad. And when these players that are currently out come back in, and I'm not talking about Bentancur, I'm talking about the players that started the season, right? So Maddison, Van de Ven, et cetera, et cetera. When those players come back in for us to go on another 10 to 12 game run. That's what I'm expecting.
Do you think that's a realistic expectation?
Yeah, I don't.
Well,
I think that's.
I just want to ask you,
heights.
Do you think that's a realistic?
We went on a 10-game run. Why is going on another
Well,
10-game run a lofty height?
I think top 4 is on. As in, we can definitely get in a top 4 race with what you said, but I think third is pushing it.
I think top 5 is.
As Savva always says, if he finishes in top 4, we build a statue.
We're only 4 out of first, and we're only with 2 points out of third.
But Will, we've got to put it into context, right? We play 13 games, lost 3 games, right? Yeah, but the context is we play 13 games and already lost 3. Now,
and we're only 2 points out of third.
Yeah, but
that's the context.
We still, but the context is we still got to play Man City, Brighton, Newcastle in the next few. West Ham at home. You know what they're like.
Play harder fixtures too. For example, we have had a harder. So we had the first 10 easiest games. So we had the easiest run in the first 10 games. After that, our run changed. Arsenal's didn't. They had the easiest first 16 games. So as we were in first, as we were in first place going through the first 10. And it switched. They've played Man City, but they haven't played Liverpool. They haven't played Villa. They haven't played Brighton yet. These are all games where they could drop points easily.
Well, you see this buffer we've built up. We got this. We got a little bit of buffer because we started off so well. But for what you've said to happen, we can't chew into any more of the buffer. Like we can't keep dropping off. Otherwise, the gap will be too much for us to claw back, I think.
But still, my point here is sorry, Haz, I'll literally a second, but this is my point. We're now at that point where we've now lost 3. My point is it's gonna. Let's be honest. If you're a betting man, it's gonna be 4. I think we can all pretend that we think we're gonna get a result against Man City, but 99 times out of 100, they're gonna beat us on the weekend. Then you've got then West Ham became game of the season. If you don't win that one, you then got to go and play Newcastle, and again that becomes a massive game. And they are back.
Why wouldn't we beat West Ham right now?
Because I see. So I'm not. By the way, I think we do get a result against West Ham. My point is it becomes a massive game.
We have to.
But that's my point. It becomes a massive game of football. And now what you're doing is you're asking these players. You're asking these players now to go. You have to win. It becomes a cup final on game week 16 or whatever it is, 15 or whatever it is. It becomes.
Think of it in context the other way, right? Like if we finish this first half of this season going through this bad patch, which unless you think this type of a injury crisis where we lose, 4 of our 5 best players in one game.
No, I don't think it will.
For whatever reason that we lost them, we lost them, right? For at least 3 games. Do you if you predict that that's going to happen again in the second half of the season, that's fine. But if we were to go and say we lose 4 in the first half, right, and we lose 4 in the second half, where do we sit points table wise? I mean, that's only 8.
I think we're going to lose. I think we're going to lose. Sorry, go on, Haas. I think we're going to lose more than 8 games this season.
But why would we lose?
I don't think we're as good as you think, Will. Sorry, I don't see.
But why would we lose more games than we have? Who did we beat and or draw against in the first half of the season that we'll lose to in the second half?
Right. So I just wanted to say, you're saying.
Sorry, go on, Haas. I'll come back. Will, I'll come back to it.
You're saying we can go on another run, after these 3 defeats, etc., etc. But what you need to remember is that we have incurred injuries, suspensions at a pivotal time in the season, coming up against these big teams. This is why I'm saying it's going to be difficult to go on that run again with the amount of players that we have out. look,
They'll be back.
Look, but look at who we got out. Van der Ven's out for a long period.
They'll be back.
Bentancur's out for a long period. Maddison's out for a long period.
They'll be back.
We've got wingers out. Solomon, Perisic, all out. Okay. The next 4 games, we've got Manchester City, we've got West Ham, we've got, we still have to play Brighton. We've got some massive Newcastle coming up as well. Without these players, these pivotal players, I know you're saying they're going to come back. They are going to come back at some point, but they're not going to come back. They're not going to come back over these next 4 or 5 games.
So, and I'll just put a little bit. Sorry, just one second. I'll put a little bit of context just so we can understand. Like, let's just say that most of these players are going to come back at the end of January. That some might come a little bit earlier, but just for the context of it all, we're talking Man City away, West Ham at home, Newcastle at home, Forest away, Everton at home, Brighton away, Bournemouth at home, Man United away, Brentford at home, Everton away. Then we've got to play. Oh, so no, I'm creeping into February. So it's up to that Everton away. You look at those and go, there's a few in there where I expect us to be beaten, but we've got to go to Old Trafford. We've got to play, as I said, like Newcastle, Brighton in that little mix. Brentford at home aren't going to be an easy. They're a good football side. So I get it. Like, I don't think we're going to lose all these games. I'm not one of these people, but to say I think we'll lose more. We'll lose around about 10 games this season. And by the way, that's not a bad thing. I think it's one of those things I've said all along, where it's why I said at the beginning of the season, I don't care where we finish, as long as we don't get relegated. I know we're not. That's always what I say. And for me, I think we're getting to that era where that series of the season where we go, okay, look, it is what it is. If he gets us back into Europe, great. I think that's a good season for him.
Can I just add to this just quickly? I mean, first of all, look, Will, I can't disagree more. I don't think we should be finishing anywhere near third. I don't think we're anywhere near as good as the 3 above us in any way, shape, or form. My reasoning for this is, in this period that we haven't got the players, like we were saying, Van der Ven, Maddison, and Bentancur all not back until January or whenever it is, and all the games between now January and February, depending on how long they're going to take to get fully match fit.
The beginning of the new year, so I don't know where the end of January came up from, right? Van der Ven is already doing rehab, right? So
sure, but okay, yeah. If they're out until the beginning of January, plus Bentancur is going to be a while now. In that gap, it's how many points do we drop in that gap, and how far at that point are those big 3? If we're talking Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, by that point, how far away are they from us? So that we can talk about, we can go on another good run. But those clubs will still be picking up points every week and still be going on. But they very rarely do. That's the problem. They have been
dropping points this season. Man City's been dropping more points than normal at the beginning of this part of this.
No, they haven't. No, they haven't.
Drawing games they haven't normally drawn. They've lost games that they normally don't lose.
Hang on, Will. Man City do this every single season. Every single season, right. This happens in the first half of the season for Man City, and everyone says Man City.
It's not Man City do this. It's the first third of the season that they start slow, right? They're third, fourth at the beginning, and once they start hitting this time of the season is when they come into the forefront. They just drew last weekend, and they drew the weekend before that, right? And then they lost 2 games fairly close to the backside of that. So what I'm saying is they didn't do that at the beginning of the season. They won 6 straight, right? And then they started to drop points moving forward. Right? They will drop points again.
But not a lot. They never drop a lot of. But I don't know what you're saying. I don't know how anyone's watched this Spurs team play and said that's a 3rd place team. That's what I'm a bit. Just me. It's only my opinion. That's what I'm a bit baffled about, because we're talking like we can play our best.
Well?
In patches, I think look, Wolves was crap. Villa was good for most of it. I thought Chelsea was good for some of it. Palace was crap.
Why was Palace crap?
Sorry, you thought we played well against Palace?
Yeah. Why didn't we play well against Crystal Palace?
We were watching the same game, and we created absolutely nothing in the game.
We beat them.
That's the question. Wasn't did we beat? The question wasn't did we beat Palace? We beat them 2-1. The question wasn't did we beat them. The question was, you said did we play well? We didn't. We had 1 shot on target in the whole game. Like.
Right, but what I'm saying
we didn't play. Sorry, we didn't play well.
Right, but what I'm saying is when you look at the rival, take Arsenal for example. What did they create against Crystal Palace in that 1-0 win? Nothing. What did they create against their 1-0 win against Brentford? Nothing. Right? You can't. So Arsenal is in.
Do you think we're better than Arsenal?
But yes, we are playing better football than Arsenal right now.
No, but do you think we're better than Arsenal? Not are we playing better football than them? No, that's not.
We are
no,
putting
I'm not
in
asking
better
that.
Performances than Arsenal this season. Yes.
Yet we've lost 3 games and they've lost 1 all season.
We lost 3. We lost those 3 games when we lost our 4 of our 5.
Sure, but you know Arsenal have
4
been
of our 5 best players.
Sure, but you know Arsenal have had injuries throughout the season as well.
Not to 4 of their 5 best players. They haven't.
Arsenal have got a better squad Arsenal have got a better squad than us.
It's not a matter about squad. I'm talking. Okay, look, you can't say simply numbers of injuries.
The squad allowed you to deal with injuries and suspensions.
Hold on. But what I'm saying is, injuries and suspensions count. They affect the games, right? And what I'm talking about is quality. There's a difference between them having, a Party who never plays, hasn't played well at all this season, being out, right? And then one player here, one player here, one player here, and not 4 or 5 out at the same time. Arsenal have never gone with 4 of their 5 best players out for 3 games in a row. And until they do, you cannot compare the two because it's a
you two are arguing 2 different things.
Still, I agree. We are arguing 2 different things. The point is, whether we had 4 of our 5 best players out, 2 of those 4, right? 2 of those 4 were out through their own fault. That's on us. That's not an injury.
It doesn't matter why they got out.
Of course it does.
And the reason, no, it doesn't.
Of course it does.
You don't deserve to drop 3 points because somebody got 5 yellows. Everybody's going to get 5 yellows, right?
Will, Savva, 1 second. You two guys, 1 second. Will, you're saying, my understanding of this conversation is, you're saying if both teams have their best starting 11, you think we're better. Savva's saying as a team as a whole,
what I'm saying.
Included,
exactly.
Arsenal are better than Spurs. That's what he's saying.
I'm not talking.
The
problem is,
of Arsenal.
But we're doing right. Do you know what this reminds me of? This debate that Will's having with me here reminds me of Pochettino 16-17. When I'm not saying you're saying this, Will, I'm just saying it reminds me of this. When do you remember during that era when it was like, oh, we need to buy this player, but who's going to come and sit on a bench because of an 11, an 11, an 11, an 11? 11's
that's not what I'm saying at all.
No, I just said that. I said that's not what you're saying. But an 11, that's not what football is about.
I'm not talking about 11. I'm talking
Arsenal,
about the squad depth as well.
Hang on. Yeah, but Arsenal may not have had 4 of their best players out at one go, but Arsenal have had, like, Partey has missed most of this season, who's arguably their best midfielder.
No, he's only missed half. And he's not their best midfielder. He's been awful this year.
Hang on. But he's hardly played this year.
No, he hasn't. He's played more than you think. He's played 5 to 6 games this season.
Let's do this. Guys, let's do this.
Excellent last year.
Guys, let's do this.
Last year, he was excellent. This year, he hasn't been. He spent the first 2 games of the season playing right back.
There's a simple way to end this, right? If you look at each position and you look at the players available, if there's an injury, if we lose Vicario, we don't have anyone near as good as him. Ramsdale, Raya, they're roughly levels, right? If you look at centre backs, once we lose both our centre backs, everyone else is crap. Whereas Arsenal, they've got Timber.
No, that's not even the argument I'm making. It's not the argument I'm making.
Hang on. Can I finish my point? So first of all, Thomas Partey, how much do you think he's played this season? When you're saying he's played a lot, what do you reckon he's played?
He's played 5 to 6 games.
No.
Played 4
no,
games.
He hasn't. He's played 4 games. One was 16 minutes. One was 55. And 2 were 90. He hasn't played all season.
He's averaged 63 minutes and he's played 4 games.
Okay, so he's hardly played. Across their season, that's not a lot of football. So
No.
you've got Timber, who's missed the whole season.
But we don't know how good Timber's going to be.
But watch Timber. He's a very, very good footballer.
I've watched Timber. We don't know that Timber's going to apply himself.
But Will, you're doing what?
He start at left back?
Hang on. Will, let me finish. But you're doing this thing where all of our players that are missing are our best players, and that's the reason we're doing it. But when it's Arsenal,
there's Van der Ven, Romero,
let me finish.
Maddison.
Will, you got to let me finish. But when it's Arsenal's players, we're finding a reason as to why it's not as detrimental. Timber's was bought for them for a reason. He's a very good footballer.
So where does Timber play?
Hang on. Partey is one of their best midfielders. Whichever way we look at it, Partey is a quality footballer, right? This year, they've missed Jesus for long periods of time. They've missed Ben White, right? They've missed other players throughout the season. Ours at once, all we've got injured at once was our best 2 players, Maddison and Van der Ven. 2. We're going on like, when this is what we do a lot in life, football fans. We've taken injuries to 2 or 3 key players, and then we're adding on Alfie Whiteman, Ryan Sessegnon, Solomon Perisic.
No,
players
that's not
who,
true.
but that is true. That's what I'm seeing.
No,
Still,
I'm suspended at the same time.
Hold on.
Hang on, what?
Bissouma and Udogie suspended at the same time.
That's
yeah,
not
we
an
can't
injury.
use
Savva.
suspensions.
No, but the players unavailable though. Why can't
hang on, let me finish. God, let me finish.
Gabriel averages just as many red cards per season as Romero does. Fact. Look it up.
Okay.
So if Gabriel gets a red card and Saliba is out on injury, and then you've got Declan Rice also gets suspended, and they lose 3 games because of that, you would say, yeah, they had 4 of their 5 best players out injured or suspended. That's my point. They will drop points. It doesn't matter why the players aren't available. They haven't played. And because
can I just add something?
Didn't play, they drop points.
Can I add something? Can I add something? The thing is, you're talking hypotheticals. We've seen Spurs lose the games without our 2 or 3 players injured. Arsenal have had injuries and have lost 1 game all season.
No, but they haven't had 4 at the same time.
Neither have we. We've had 2
injuries out.
Neither have we.
Sorry. When they signed, yes, we have.
No, we haven't.
Not just injuries; it's suspensions.
We
as well
had
as
4
injuries.
out at the same time.
That's not. If
But
your players
suspensions
get
means they can't play, Savva. They can't play.
Yeah, thanks for teaching me the basic rules of football still, but there's a difference between.
But you're ignoring
No,
it.
hang on. I'm not ignoring it. That's on us. If Bissouma is, of course it's on us. If Bissouma can't keep his head and keeps picking up yellows, he gets suspended. Same way, if Arsenal lose a player through suspension, I have no sympathy for anyone that loses players through suspension.
We're not talking about sympathy. We're talking about how the results will end up. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about sympathy. I don't want people to play their fiddle and say, poor Tottenham, we did da-da-da-da. What I'm saying is the reason we lost those games that we lost was because those players weren't available. That's it.
But we don't know that.
By the way, it's our fault they're not available. It's our fault.
Yeah. That's the
point.
point.
We could have. The thing is, though,
the fact they're not available.
Sure,
the managers can't get wins now. That's
but we could have still lost to Villa. We don't know. We could have still lost to Chelsea. We don't know. The thing is, we're talking in absolutes. We're talking in absolutes.
Probabilities, right? So I'm not talking absolutes. There's a difference with saying with 100% certainty we would have beaten Aston Villa. I'm saying based on the performance that we put in, missing the players that we're missing, it is more likely than not that we would have beaten Aston Villa on the day.
Other teams miss players as well. And you know what I mean? Don't use it as a massive excuse.
Right, but a two-way call of other teams. I'm talking about the results we face that we drop points in, right? If you can't tell, I don't think any Spurs fans can honestly tell me that if we had Romero, Van der Ven, and Maddison against Wolves, do we lose that game based on the play of the game on the day?
I don't know because hang on. We're saying that we keep doing this. We win. I've watched us with Romero, Van der Ven, and Maddison this season have games which we were very questionable. Won by the odd goal. Sure, but that doesn't just mean it's always going to happen. That doesn't mean.
Said it, I'm talking about likelihoods.
I know. Okay, right? Likelihoods, but football's not played on likelihoods, is it? Football's
predictions
not played.
Are based on likelihoods, right? So when I'm talking about how I think we'll finish or perform in the future is based on likelihoods and probabilities, right? So in my head, I have to rationalize, okay, this player's out, but the performance was X. Okay, in the reverse fixture, right? Is it away from home? That's going to be harder. Is it at home? It's going to be a little bit easier. Now, with these players sprinkled back in, what is the likely outcome?
But hang on. Mark Changle, sorry, just quickly. Whenever I've seen so many posts on Instagram and on YouTube and stuff, people are putting up, look at this injury list. And it's got Sessegnon, Perisic, Solomon, Whiteman. The only ones I care about are Maddison and Van der Ven. Now Bentancur, of course.
Solomon, you have to care. We don't have a left winger. Who's our left winger?
In the context of who's starting,
we have to care about Solomon, but then I throw in Timber, Partey, Smith Rowe. Huh?
Is Timber a starter for Arsenal?
Solomon's not a starter.
We don't.
Who's our left starter then? Who's our left?
Oh my God!
Left
You've got to let me talk. You've got to.
Perisic and Solomon were the left starters, guys.
So
Perisic and Solomon were the left starters. They were until they got injured. They were the starters. We can't ignore them.
Based on what?
The first 3 games before they got injured.
That they started when they were fit.
Okay, let's check. I'm going to check to make sure.
Brian Hill and Brennan Johnson are only playing on the left wing because Perisic and Solomon got injured. They didn't get a look in until that.
Okay, so let's have a look. So we're saying, I just feel like we're doing that thing again where it's poor us, but when other clubs have the injuries, we make excuses. Like Arsenal have got injuries to key players. Players they've had injured.
Can I just?
Sorry, Will. Thomas Partey is a quality midfielder.
I don't think so.
We've had no.
What do you mean you don't think so? That's ridiculous.
We've had no Bentancur. Okay, guys. All right. Partey's out. We've got no Bentancur.
But Stel, I'm not. Yeah. This is ridiculous. No one's doing tit for tat. The point is, they have players missing. We have players missing. The problem is,
Savva, they have
not what
their situation isn't as dire as our situation.
What do you mean, not the way we have? We've missed players for 2.5 games so far, haven't we? 2.5 games
since Chelsea.
2.5 games we've missed them. Yeah. So when you're saying not like, hang on, let me finish. Please let me finish, or this is pointless. 2.5 games we've had players out for. 2.5 games.
Yeah, and we lost those 2 games.
We lost those 2 games, but other teams have had way more injuries than us spread across the season.
Like Chelsea, one time.
Hang on, let me. Please let me.
It's not the same, Savva.
Perchy, you do it. Not allowed. Will's on the show. No one else can talk. Go on, Perchy.
No, it's not like that. It's like.
But it is like that. I can't finish a sentence. It's getting stupid. Because can't get my point out of my mouth.
I just want to break down the point about Manor Solomon. I mean, Manor Solomon played on the left wing, started twice. So we can't use it. He didn't start left wing for us. He started twice. Burnley and
Son started the first 3 games.
Son started the first 3 games out on the left, and Richarlison was playing
down
the middle.
True.
So Manor Solomon's only played. Perisic hasn't started a game yet.
Exactly.
Solomon started 2 games and then got injured.
Who?
Solomon.
Actually, hold on a minute. This is
crazy.
Moved
central.
Still, you said it. You said they're starters. They've not started games.
One minute.
Once Son moved central, Solomon started.
Guys, 1 minute.
This is brilliant.
Guys. At the start of the season, we had Son left. We had Kudu right. Who was up front?
Richarlison.
Right?
Richarlison.
Okay. Then, because that wasn't working, we moved Son into the middle, dropped Richie, and then it was Perisic and Solomon. Once they both got injured, Richie then comes back in. He gets injured. Only at that point.
Perisic hasn't started a game.
No, Perisic coming off the bench for Solomon.
So he's not a starter, is he?
Perisic hasn't.
I'm not counting Perisic. So one of those 2 has to be a starter.
Stel did. Stel said Perisic is a starter.
Solomon. Once Son went striker, Solomon was the starter. Once Son was striker.
For how?
Once Son was a striker, he was a starter.
Till he got injured.
Once that wasn't working with Richie up front, once Ange adjusted and said, "Right, Son, you're the striker," Solomon became the striker.
And he didn't.
And then he got injured.
No, he didn't. Because
it's not true.
He didn't. He put Brennan Johnson against Arsenal when he.
No. Okay, fine. Who was? No, before Arsenal, Perchy.
Hold on, I put Richarlison was on the left. He put Richarlison on the left.
Okay, so Richarlison was a starter. He's injured then. Okay, Richarlison was a starter. He's injured then. So forget Solomon.
Let's not rewrite history. If we're going to talk about things, let's look up the players that played. After the first 3 games, when Son moved central, Solomon started on the left, and he started there for 2 games in a row until he got injured. Fact.
No, that's not true because he started on the bench against Arsenal and came off the bench. He put Johnson on the left to start. I've got it in front of me. That's the way I know.
Agreed. You're right. He didn't. He started 2 games, then he was put back on the bench. Solomon is a bit part player. We can't just rewrite history that he's a starter.
Hang on. He then put Richarlison out on the left against Liverpool. Okay. And then against Luton, he played Richarlison again. So Solomon, I can't remember when Solomon got
Perchy. Going back to Will's first question then, let's answer this question then, right? Because we've gone around circles here. Who is our starting left-sided player then?
Brennan Johnson.
Who knows?
It's Brennan Johnson.
Brennan Johnson was a right winger. That's what we signed.
Yeah, but he hasn't played right wing all season apart
because
from when
those 2 have been injured.
Huh? So why
Perisic
did
and Solomon have been injured? That's why
So
he
why
doesn't
did
play
you-
right wing.
This is mental. Like 2 players that between them, when they were fit, had 2 starts. Perisic didn't start a game.
All right, guys, can I ask you a question then? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If Solomon, Perisic, or Richie, if one of them, just one of them was fit, are they starting in that front three or not?
Who knows? He's changed it
I don't
around
know at the
so
moment,
much.
yeah.
We don't know.
But hasn't he
He's
changed it around?
He-
Savva, hasn't he changed it because of injuries?
No,
though?
no, because when they were fit, he put Richarlison out wide left and moved Son into the middle. Then the next game was Solomon. Then the game after that was Brennan Johnson. This is still why Solomon was fit.
But then Solomon
No,
got
it
injured,
wasn't.
and then Brendan.
Yes,
Johnson
it
got
was.
injured,
I've got
right?
it in front of me. It
They
was.
both
I've got it in
injured,
front of
Savva.
me.
Brendan Johnson got injured against Arsenal. Solomon got injured a while back. Both of those players that he was trying. Okay, the players that he was trying to figure out who is starting front three. Right, we're almost there then. The players that he was experimenting with, who could go in his front three, they've got injured. They've all got injured. Perisic, Solomon, and Richie. The ones that he was trying out. So now he's been forced, without choice, to go with Hill and Brendan Johnson. He's been forced.
Yeah, I get that.
So I think that's
Sure.
what we're saying. Ange is being forced to play players that he might not want to play. He's got no choice. Arsenal haven't been forced to do these things, not just in the
Okay,
front
look,
three, in midfield
I'm sorry.
and centre back.
I'm
Ange has been
sorry. I'm
forced
sorry.
to
No,
do
I
these
don't-
things.
I don't-
I got to correct the record here, right? So for Burnley, right, which is the first game when Sun moved central, Solomon started. Then the very
Yeah.
next game against Sheffield United, Solomon started.
Yeah.
And then he
Then what-
played against Arsenal and came off
Came
the
off
bench
the
because
bench.
he
He
was
didn't
injured.
start.
Came
no,
off the
no.
bench
And he was
against
out.
Arsenal. He came off the
Because he
bench.
picked up a knock against Sheffield United and then got injured.
I love that.
Was
I love
out.
that how you're bending and adapting this. So when he
I'm not
starts,
bending
you're
and
correct. When he
adapting it.
doesn't
I'm
start,
telling
it's
you
because
the
it was a
fact.
knock. Like it's just crazy.
I'll just
Can
I'll
we
put
just
it in-
can we just the fact that you guys are using Solomon, Perisic, and Richarlison as players missing for our left side just shows where we're at and why we're not good enough to finish third in the Premier League. I'm
That's
sorry.
a different argument, though, isn't it? That's a different.
Well, no,
argument.
this is how this all started was because Will said
Yeah.
we're better than Arsenal and we'll finish third.
Well, no, I was arguing the point that
I don't
we've
know
had
based on
significant
what-
injuries to key players. That's what I'm saying.
But
My
I
argument's
don't
different.
know, based on what people are
I'm
watching of
arguing about
Arsenal,
Thursday.
I don't know what people are watching about Arsenal. They may not have been playing the silky smooth football they did last year,
They're getting the wins
everyone-
though.
but they're getting the wins, right? It doesn't matter what injuries they have, they're spread out, whatever, they're getting the wins. We can sit here and say, if they have these players out, they lose. We don't know. We don't know who they play. We
Right,
don't
all right,
know their
Savva,
position. We don't
Let me
know the
ask you a
game.
question.
Don't know
Let me ask you
that.
a question. Savva, let me ask you a
Yeah.
question. In your opinion as a football fan,
Yeah.
right? No biases here. If Arsenal
Right,
lost
just
to
quickly,
Saliba-
sorry, Space Jam, last warning. Last warning, Space Jam. I'm getting really bored of this. Last warning. No one's twerking for rivals. We're having a football chat about Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
Grow up or get out. Sorry. Go on,
Savva,
Stel.
if Arsenal, whether it's through suspension or injury, if Arsenal at the same time lost Gabriel and Saliba, Partey and Rice, like kind of what's happened to Spurs with suspensions and injuries, do you think Arsenal will be doing what they're doing right now? That's the question I'm asking you.
It's a
Just
big-
what's your
it's a-
opinion on that?
But
What do you think would
I
happen?
don't know. It
And
depends
they
who
had
they're
to play
playing.
Wolves and Villa.
Okay, I won't answer. Jesus Christ.
I'm just throwing that extra piece in
Well,
there.
I just-
And they had to play the same team we played.
But we don't. If they're playing Wolves and Villa, I think Arsenal have got better players that are coming off the bench than we
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
Okay,
This
got a
is
better
the
squad
point.
than us.
Stop. You're,
We
you're, not,
keep-
you're dodging the question still asking.
I'm
right?
no.
You are.
I've just.
Gabriel.
Oh
and
my God! I'm
Saliba,
trying to answer it.
Rice and Odegaard.
I'm
Partey,
trying to
not
answer.
players
Partey,
miss.
Partey.
I'm
not
trying
Partey.
to. I'm trying to answer the question, but you keep
Let him
cutting
answer.
me
Let him
off.
answer.
Like,
Answer,
it's getting
answer,
ridiculous.
Savva, answer.
Do I think they can cope? Yes, better than us because they have better players to come on. When Arsenal are losing players, the players that are coming on in place are better. So, for example, if they don't have Timber, they are bringing on players like Tomiyasu. They're not bringing in crap like Ben Davis and Emerson Royale, right? In midfield, they've got more midfielders than we've got at the moment. They can still put out a midfield of Trossard, Rice, and Odegaard, right? We lose a player, we're bringing in Dross. If they lose Gabriel Jesus like they have, they're still bringing in either a Trossard or an Emil Smith-Rowe or a Reece Nelson. They're bringing on better players than what we're bringing on.
Are they? Because Arsenal, when Declan Rice went off injured and Jorginho came on, they got rinsed in that midfield. Are they?
But still, you do this a lot. You're going
I'm
to
asking you, are they? I'm rebutting you.
But you've gone to 45 minutes of football in a North London derby. We're talking about when you've had a week to prepare for it. We're talking about when you've had a week to say, right, this is going to be our 11. This is what we're going to do. We can say this about Arsenal all we want. Arsenal have had injuries. We're just pretending that they haven't. The same way Man U have had loads. Chelsea have had, Man U have had more than us. Chelsea have had more than us. Brentford have got more than us. Newcastle have got way more than us. I just did answer the question. Will, don't be disingenuous. I just did answer the question.
I'm not being disingenuous. Hold on.
Who
answer the question. Saliba, Gabriel out at the same time. Tomiyasu doesn't cover both players. He doesn't. Right? Saliba, Gabriel out at the same time. Rice gone at the same time. And Odegaard gone at the same time.
Okay, so if Odegaard... Okay, so if Odegaard goes out, they bring in Trossard. Hang on.
No, Trossard's already there.
I don't know. I'm not allowed to finish, apparently. This is pointless. But you keep asking a question, and I'm not allowed to finish my question.
Because Trossard's a scenario that's not possible.
I'm not allowed to finish my... it's getting absolutely ridiculous.
Is it Trossard's squad player?
You asked me, I start answering, and you cut me off. It's getting ridiculous, right? If Odegaard doesn't play, Trossard can play there. No?
Next, who replaces Rice in the same team?
Who replaces Rice? No one as good, but still they've got players they can bring in, like Jorginho, yeah, like El Neni that they can bring in. Yeah, they're not brilliant.
Okay, so Jorginho.
What do you mean? This is what. But still,
that's a massive drop off there. But that's a drop off.
I'm getting so frustrated.
Who's the next? Who replaces the two centre backs?
I was trying to say
minus those 4 players.
Tomiyasu as well that can play centre back.
Kivior goes in. They've got
But you do
none of those players match Rice or Saliba's levels, guys. None of them.
This is pointless.
That's like me
no
saying
one said they were. No one's.
But
that's hang on, that's the drop off we're explaining.
But
that's what we're trying to say. If they lose those 4 players, they will drop off.
You're not answering
but still,
I'm trying to answer the question. Will you and then let anyone else talk?
Okay, I'm trying to. I'm muting myself in between now.
Right.
Who replaces those 4 players in the starting 11, and then we'll talk about whether that team can be Aston Villa.
Odegaard could be replaced by Trossard or Emil Smith-Rowe. Very good footballers. No?
Trossard, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Emil Smith-Rowe's not a good footballer.
What, replacement for Declan Rice? No.
Odegaard. We're talking about Odegaard.
We've done Odegaard. We said Trossard. We agreed with Trossard.
Right. Okay, but he just said to me Odegaard. Right at the back. You've got to remember.
And Rice. You got to replace Rice too.
You've got to replace Declan. They will put. Okay, if you're replacing Declan Rice, then I don't know what 3 they'll play in which strategy, but they could bring in El Neni, who came in last year and did a wonderful.
But you're saying
that.
Trossard. I'm trying to flesh out the middle 3 because El Neni.
I'm trying. I'm getting really frustrated.
Who's the other third player in midfield?
It's pointless. I'm going to start talking. You're just going to shut me down.
I'm trying to get you to say who the starting.
I'm trying to answer. I'm trying my best to answer, and you keep shutting me down.
Because you're not filling out the 3 in the midfield.
I'm trying to. They don't need all 3 filled out. You said Declan Rice was missing.
No, Rice and Odegaard are missing. You have to fill
he said Trossard, Will.
So I said Trossard, then they can put El Neni in there, right? And then they've already got Partey out. So we're assuming Partey will be fit, right?
Partey can be fit, sure.
Okay, so Partey, El Neni and Trossard, right? It's not the worst midfield 3 you've ever seen in your life. That doesn't automatically mean they lose to Aston Villa because they got that. At the back, they would, if they're missing Gabriel and Saliba, I'm assuming that Timber will be fit for the purposes of this. Yeah?
I think Ben White can play at the back as well.
Ben White? Sure. Right. Ben White can play centre-half. Tomiyasu can go to right back. They've got Timber. They've got more options than we have. Better players than we have.
Who's the 4th defender? So Timber.
What?
So it would be
Ben White,
Tomiyasu, Timber, Ben White, Zinchenko.
So that
team
doesn't loses to Villa.
That team doesn't beat Man City or Villa.
Where on earth did Man City come from? I don't. No one mentioned Man City.
Okay, because of our game coming up against City. That's why I think.
Arsenal don't get a 2-2 draw against Chelsea this season with those players. No way.
Nope. They
Because
lose
those
that game
players
against
kept-
Chelsea.
You
Arsenal-
don't
They
those
know
lose
players
that game
that.
against Wolves. They lose that
Hang
game
on,
against
hang on.
Villa.
lost-
Hang
Arsenal
on,
lost
hang on.
Saliba last year and collapsed. One of them went left and they collapsed.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. Right? So we're talking about there's no way that Arsenal team I named can get a 2-2 draw with Chelsea,
Nope.
even though Chelsea just got beaten 4-1 by Newcastle with 10 first
And they
team
drew
players out.
4-4 with Man City.
Not the game Arsenal played against Chelsea this season at Stamford Bridge. No,
Guys, this
Because
is
Rice saved
playground
them.
stuff. It's not we beat them, so they have to beat them. Chelsea
No,
are.
no, Declan Rice saved them. That's what I'm saying. And Saliba saved them in that game. Both of those are out.
just-
the players
yeah,
that come in aren't at those levels for me. The players you've said come in aren't at the levels of Rice
Yeah,
and
but
Saliba,
still,
in my
can I-
opinion.
No one,
No,
but still, you're changing the goalposts as usual. No one said they were at the same level.
What do you mean, as usual? Don't change your
Look,
goalposts.
every single time. No, first of all, no one mentioned
How?
Man City. Second of all, no one said those players coming in were as good as those players. I said
No, I
they
said
were
Man
better.
City because Arsenal
Oh
beat
my
Man
God,
City this
oh
year.
my God.
No, Sam, I'm
I-
explaining to you why I said Man City because Arsenal beat Man
let me-
City this year. They're not winning that game with those players.
Let me,
pointless.
let me-
This is
let me
fucking
just- let me
pointless.
just explain it. I
I'm
think
justifying why I said Man City to you because you're calling it out. I
No,
said
no,
it because
Stel,
they-
hang on, hang on.
No one said those players were as good as the first team players they'd be replacing at Arsenal. My point was they were better than the players Spurs are bringing in
I don't think
to
so.
replace.
I agree. No, Savva, I
Right.
agree. I agree with you.
Okay,
I
hang
agree.
on. So Will,
I agree.
so Trossard, Urian Timber, are not better than Emerson Royale and
Yes, they are.
Højbjerg.
Savva, yes, they are. Yes, they are.
no.
Yes, they are, but that's
Yes,
not
they
who
are.
you're
But they're
comparing
not winning
apples
the
and
games
oranges.
that the Arsenal players that we saw play this season
Hold on,
won for
hold on,
them.
hold on.
If Declan
So you-
Rice,
in the-
Saliba, Gabriel, and Odegaard are injured at the same time, Arsenal were not winning the games that we've seen them win this year. I'm
You
not
don't
having that.
know that.
So
You
in this
don't
midfield-
know that.
You've agreed
this
that there's a
midfield-
drop off.
Can I?
Hold on. In this
Why can I
midfield,
leave
You
the
two
Hold on.
talking
He just asked me a
absolutes
question.
all the time. It's so frustrating. This isn't an absolute.
Every Arsenal
Who's talking
fan
about
says
absolute?
Saliba and Rice are the best players this season. Where would we be without them?
That
They would win
Arsenal
those games,
team,
that's where.
that Arsenal team that
Yeah.
I just named couldn't draw with Chelsea, but Newcastle's second string team can beat them 4-1.
I'm talking about Arsenal compared to Spurs,
yeah.
them losing their key players.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
no,
talking
no,
Newcastle.
you're not listening to what I said. You're not listening to what I said. You said about drawing with Chelsea,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this very same Chelsea team just got battered by Newcastle, who have 10
Newcastle
first team
got-
And they
injuries.
also
Yeah.
they
And-
also
and-
drew 4-4 with City.
Okay,
And they
drew
and they
2-2
and they
Which goes to
outplayed
show,
Arsenal.
which
They
goes to
outplayed Arsenal at
show
Stamford
you
Bridge.
just don't know. So when you two are saying absolutes, they will
Because-
definitely
because
lose that, definitely
New-
lose
Arsenal
that, definitely
isn't
lose that.
Newcastle. Arsenal isn't Newcastle.
Can I at
No, I
least
didn't
get a
say
word in
Arsenal.
edgeways for
No,
just
you're not
1
getting-
second, and I'll
No,
try
you're
and I'll
saying
try
Arsenal
and
can beat Chelsea or draw with Chelsea because Newcastle beat Chelsea. Arsenal's not Newcastle, so you can't use them as comparison. You have to use the results.
No, they're
that we
better than
saw with our
Newcastle.
eyes. They aren't.
No, they're better than Newcastle. Of course, they're better than Newcastle.
They
Newcastle
aren't.
beat them.
But Will, the problem is you've gone so biased. I keep hearing so Spurs are better than Arsenal. Newcastle are better than Arsenal. You know Arsenal are going to finish above both those two teams this season, don't you?
I don't know that.
You
Savva, there's an
does
Arsenal
anyone
fan
else on the
agree.
panel? I'll ask anyone else on the panel. I'll ask everyone
Yeah.
in the chat. Do Arsenal finish below both Newcastle and Spurs this year? This is
I don't think
madness.
so. I don't think so.
Can
I
I?
don't think
Can
so.
I?
Arsenal
Can
are
I
gonna
at
be in
least
a
can I
title
get my
challenge.
point? I've been
Arsenal
waiting
finish
in a
patiently to get my
title
point in. I'm going to get my
Arsenal-
I'm going to get my point in here, and I don't care. Now, if
Arsenal
people
finish-
talk
This
over
is
me,
mad.
I will just keep talking. I don't care. I'm going to carry on talking because I haven't. I want to make my point here, and I'm trying to make it as balanced as possible for a reason here. What people need to say, Stel, you're right in what you say, but the difference in what you're saying is my point here is this: the drop off for Spurs top is down here. We know that. There's no arguments. We know that. As soon as one player goes out, the drop off's like that. Yes, the drop off for Arsenal, it's like that. They've got a boom, boom.
Actually, I agree. I agree with you.
No,
But
we
that's
have more
my
depth
point.
in midfield
And
than
everything
Arsenal
that's everything that's been trying to be said here, Arsenal have a better squad than Tottenham. No debate.
No,
There's
we
not
have
a
better
debate
depth in
about
midfield
that.
than Arsenal. I disagree
Huh?
with you, Perchy.
What?
We have more
Are you
depth in
mad?
midfield.
Depth
Come on.
do we have in midfield?
Højbjerg
What
and
depth do we
Skip is
have?
basically
Okay,
is
you have
what
Maddison,
comes in, right?
Bissouma, Lo Celso, Højbjerg.
Oh, we're chucking the
Sarr,
Celso in
Skip.
now.
Yes.
and
Lasorte's a
Højbjerg
player
and
who
Skip.
plays. When we're talking about
come on.
depth,
Like, let's be
this
fair.
is
Arsenal got a
clutching
better.
now,
our
innit?
top three.
Arsenal got a better
hold on.
squad than
To
Arsenal.
be fair, if you're going to use El Neni, we're allowed to use Højbjerg.
I'd have it on Nenny over Højbjerg all day long.
No
You
way.
don't let me
I'm
relax
sorry.
his
That's
Højbjerg.
ridiculous.
El Neni's crap. I think he's crap. But
I don't think he's. Hang on, I don't think he's good. I
Højbjerg's
think
way
he's
better footballer than El Neni is.
Oh wow, this is
I think
madness.
Can I just say, guys, just quickly, it's all opinions, it's all subjective. Everyone has different opinions on things. Yeah, correct?
Yeah.
Personally speaking, I think Arsenal's got a better squad than us at the moment. They've been lucky with the fact that they haven't had much in terms of injuries apart from obviously Partey. Yeah, they have. Partey's a key injury for them, but they've managed to plug that gap because they've got better depth than us. Is that correct?
Yeah, 100%.
Because they signed Declan Rice.
I think
brilliant.
I think they've managed because I think Declan Rice has been a great
signing.
signing.
Declan Rice, Bissouma, but Bentancur, right?
But are we shoehorning Tottenham players in because we're Spurs fans? Is that what's happening? Like, I just
no. Perchy, do you know what?
I'm
Can I tell you what it is? Can I tell you what it is, right? What you said is spot on. When we lose key players, our drop-off is... When Arsenal lose key players, their drop-off is like there. I agree. However, if Arsenal had that drop-off, they're no longer in that title race, in my view. They're not in that title race
Nowhere
anymore.
near.
I don't think anyone's argued differently.
I don't think they're in the title race anyway.
That's the point I was making. That's the point I was making. They would suffer.
I don't think anyone's used the word title race at all during the show. There's no title
them
race.
losing games is dropping them out of the position
I'm saying they're dropping
That's
off.
what I'm saying.
They're going to have that drop.
They're going to drop
That's
from
the point
first.
I was making.
If the same situation happened to them, if they lost four of their best starters,
then they're in a top four race. Then Arsenal's
they're
in a top
dropping
four race.
points out of first place. That's what I'm saying.
They're in a top four race.
Yeah, sure. But the thing is, we can't just pick and choose. They have had injuries. We can't just turn around and go because they haven't all been at once.
We were very too.
Hang
more
on.
than those four.
Why can't you say that, Savva? Why can't you say that?
I don't know. Has go on you talk. It's pointless with these two on the show. I can't talk.
Do you know what I think?
It's pointless.
Do you know what I think? Do you know what I think?
I'm trying to answer.
Right.
I'm trying to answer again.
I'm going to lead it now. Answer the point.
Right. Can I just say?
I'm trying to, Perchy. I am trying my best to answer, and every time I do, the goalposts get moved. The point is this.
Go on, Savva. Finish. Go on.
Arsenal have had injuries this season. Just because it wasn't 4 injuries, 2 injuries, which is what we're talking about for us, and 2 suspensions, right? They have had Timber out all season. Jesus has missed a massive chunk. He's a massive part of what they do. Timber is one of their best players. He has missed nearly the whole season to date, right? Ben White has missed games. Tomiyasu has missed games. Martinelli has missed games. This isn't just as simple as, oh, we've had injuries. They haven't. They have. Everyone has injuries. But when it's Spurs, we find a way to make it be so much worse for us than any other club.
No.
It's not true.
That's disingenuous. Dude, that's not right.
It's not disingenuous.
No, it is.
It's not disingenuous.
It is because you're saying Timber's one of Arsenal's best players. He's hardly kicked the ball. How can you say that?
I didn't say that. I didn't.
You did.
No.
You just said Timber is one of Arsenal's best players. You just said that.
No, I didn't. I said Partey.
Savva.
You said Timber, Savva. You said Timber.
You did. You can't say that.
I meant Partey, but Timber is a top player. Fine. I don't know if you guys have seen him play. That's a top player.
Yeah, he is.
I haven't seen him play for Arsenal.
Right.
I haven't seen him play for Arsenal.
He is a top player that they have bought to cover these injuries, but got injured. We don't know. He could have been their starting right back, left back, or centre back. We don't know because he's not been fit. Right? He's not been fit. Everyone has injuries. We've got 2 proper first team injuries. 3 with Bentancur now.
Forget
3.
the word injury.
And we're going on. Okay, the suspended players will be back. That's not a thing. Every club has suspensions, right?
So just when they're back.
So we're injured players.
So just when they're back then.
but you can't. Yeah, but you can't use suspended players are going to be out between 1 and 3 games. Injured players. When we talk about injured players, we're talking about long-standing injured players that are out for 2 to 3 months. There's a difference,
Then
right?
Arsenal haven't had
the ones that are missing,
Timber, Party. Yes, they have.
Party's
the ones
been
that are
in and out
missing
of the
for us.
side.
Party's played 4 times this season, and Arsenal so far have had 13 league games, 3 cup games, and 5 Champions League games. He's played
in cup games and Champions League games, right?
We're
talking in the league. He's only played 4 times.
I think.
So Maddison and Van der Ven have played 11 times in the league.
Okay. Listen,
I think if you want to do this, we have players miss 2.5 games of football, and it's the end of the world. Injuries.
No.
These other clubs have been dealing with it all season.
Which
we were lucky.
I will say this, guys. I will say this. Can I just quickly say this, right?
Chelsea are mid-table. Man United were dog shit until they got these injuries back.
But that's not what
suffered. Those teams did not do well. They suffered. Man United and Chelsea have been crap with those injuries. They haven't done well.
No, hang on. Those Man United and Chelsea have had injuries. We're talking at times 9 or 10 first-team players out. We don't have that. Let's not pretend we do.
We do have 9 or 10 first-team players out.
No, we don't have 9 or 10 first-team players out. We have a lot
Romero,
of...
Van der Ven, Udogie...
Romero's not injured.
Maddison,
Romero's not injured.
Out, Savva. They're out. They're not available.
It wasn't the debate. That wasn't what we just said.
The debate was it. The debate
was.
I'm saying that.
The debate was.
We don't have them.
No, Stel. No, you just sat there and said Chelsea and Man United weren't as good with their injuries. So I said, but the injuries, and then you go, suspensions.
We have a 25-man
injuries
squad. We have
and
11
suspensions.
first-team players out injured.
Man United, Chelsea, injuries and suspensions. Then Spurs have suffered so many issues with first teamers and even the bench players that are meant to come into cover. They've got injured.
Really?
It's not free, Savva. Where are you getting? I don't get it. It's not free.
Van der Ven, Maddison, and now Bentancur are the 3 first-team players that are properly missing.
Romero's been suspended. Udogie's been suspended.
We're talking through injuries. Talking injuries. I can't keep explaining this.
Players.
Why are we only using injuries if players aren't available? Why are we just saying injuries? Why are we putting that limitation? If they're not available, I don't understand why.
Charleston's out injured currently.
I don't understand why
Sar's out injured currently. That's 5 right there.
Who?
I think maybe we've got to agree to disagree.
I'm talking simply injury.
Hang on. Go, Will.
Talking first-team players that are injured.
I'm talking about if Spurs put out a first 11, who's missing?
Okay, nobody's had their first 11 completely out. No one.
That's not what I said.
Let
me say this in English. If Spurs had a first 11, which players are missing from it right now? A first 11.
Pape Sarr
missed one. Pape Sarr's missed 1 game. That's not. He's missed 1 game of football.
Still out injured,
but he's injured. At what point? How long have you got to be injured for?
But come on, we can't use players missing 90 minutes as a reason as to why we've fallen down the table, can we? 1 game.
Yes. Yeah, because we needed him. With Bissouma suspended,
but he's not even been that good. He's not even been that good in the last 5, 6, 7 games.
Sarr was part of the 10-game undefeated squad, dude. He played every game in those 10.
Hang on. What I will say though with Sarr.
Fred, sorry, people, let us row. Everything will be fine. We row, and then everything's done. We're all friends. But the abuse in the chat,
stop. Now
I will not put up with. Right?
No abuse.
Let us row.
No abuse.
Let us row, and then you lot just you got football.
Guys. This is just we're here. It's the debate. Like, what I will say here is you can put Sarr into it. The only thing what I will caveat slightly with Sarr is it looks like he missed 1 game. So I think when we talk, let's make sure it's when we say injuries, we've got to put it into context. If they're missing 1 game because they've had a knock, let's be a bit fair with it. We're talking long-term injuries like the Maddisons, the Van der Vens,
Perchy. When Bentancur went off injured, who do you want to see come on? Højbjerg or Pape Sarr?
Yeah, no, I get that.
So
I get that, but that's that one moment, right? I get that. That's that one moment. That's fair.
But that adds to the problem. This is the point I'm making.
But you said this started with first 11, didn't it? This started with when our first 11's fit. When our first 11's fit, what's our midfield three when everyone's fit? Is Papa Sarr in it?
I think the way Ange has got it this season, if we're going to go by the middle of this season, it's Maddison, Pape Sarr, Bissouma. If we're going to go by this season, Bentancur's only just come back. The Salesforce had 1-2 games, and what's his name? Højbjerg skip a bit part. So I think if we're going to go by what we've seen so far, it's probably Pape Sarr, Bissouma. Long term, I think Bentancur replaces Pape Sarr.
I think it's Bentancur, Bissouma, Maddison's our midfield three.
Yeah,
everyone's fit. Yeah. That's our midfield three. I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
Even when Bentancur was kind of playing in and trying to gain fitness, he wasn't starting even with Pape Maddison there, right?
But so, let's be fair.
But you've just answered your own question because he was coming back to fitness. He's not just going to come up from 10 months out there straight.
Guys, can I go back to an earlier point?
Let Haz have his point. Haz hasn't had his point yet.
Can I just go back to an earlier point, right? You lot were saying Partey is an important player. He is. But what I was saying, and I'm going back to Arsenal, right? The way they've dealt with their injuries or injury list, so to speak, they've taken out Odegaard out of the team for a couple of games. That's how good their squad depth is.
He was injured.
Put in Fabi. No, he wasn't.
No, there's been some games where he's been dropped.
He dropped onto the
bench. He's been dropped.
Listen, I think
he was injured with a hip injury.
There's always an excuse when it's another club.
Hang on. Let me just
can't understand.
Report it. Ask Stefan. I got cussed out about it on a Thursday night show. Because I said Odegaard got dropped because he's been in poor form, and he was like, "No, he's been out with hip injury." That's Arsenal fans telling me this.
I looked
it up, and it was true.
Let us finish.
No, I'm just saying we're talking about they've got injuries here, there, and everywhere else, but they've managed to rotate that squad. Okay, when someone's been out of form, and Smith Rowe's come in and done a great job. So yeah, it's right when we say they've got better players who can come in and do a job. It's true. Our squad is paper thin. We just can't. We can't deal with injuries to 2 players, let alone 3, 4, 5 with suspensions.
Haz, don't you think the thing is for me is I get what the guys are saying, like the injuries at once, but that's the luck that's luck or unlucky depending from our rivals' point of view.
It happens in football,
right?
Yeah.
What we can't do is turn around. But if this happened to Arsenal, that's not how football works.
We're talking hypotheticals, then, aren't we?
Yeah. Some clubs get loads and loads of injuries. Like if you look at Newcastle at the moment, right? Newcastle, now that's an injury list. Newcastle's injury list, that is a proper injury list that our fans talk like our injury list is. They've got massive players out all throughout the spine of their team. They dropped 17-year-olds into their team, right? They dropped 3 18-year-olds, came off the bench versus Chelsea last week, right? So other clubs, my point, I don't even know what the point of all this was in the end, but other clubs are finding ways. They are finding ways without players that are important to them. Now, for me, it's only been, because Chelsea, our players started, it's only been Wolves and Villa where we've had to do something without Van de Ven and Maddison, and then obviously the Bentancur injury midweek as well. For me, I don't think we can have it both ways. I don't think we can sit here and go, well, we should be finishing 3rd with this squad, blah, 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 blah. Then in the same breath going, oh, yeah, but hang on, when we lose 2 or 3 first-team players, we're a mess. Surely both can't be true.
But Savva,
you have to deal with it, don't you?
2 or 3.
Savva, 1 minute, hold on. Savva,
it is 2 or 3.
Savva, you are 100. 1 minute, no. Savva is 100% correct. Savva, you are 100% correct. Newcastle have found a way, except there's one difference. And this is where we have got a problem as a club as a whole, right? Because this is the journey and the way we want to go. Newcastle have got one way, and that is quite defensive, quite pragmatic, physical fight with a bit of attack. Against PSG, they got pummeled by PSG. Pummeled, and PSG couldn't score. They sat back pretty much the whole game. If Spurs take that approach to see out games, we are lambs to the slaughter.
That's not what they've done every game I've seen them play, Stel. That's a bit harsh.
A lot of Newcastle's game. I thought Arsenal were the better team against Newcastle when they lost 1-0. I thought Arsenal were better. The first 30 minutes, I agree. You know what? Arsenal were tearing them apart. For me, if we were to play that really rough physical game, a bit more pragmatic, if we used Eddie Howe's philosophy of football, which works for Newcastle and the players they've brought into cover, if we did that, I do not believe for 1 second the players available right now can pull that off. I think Newcastle's more set up for that way of doing it.
Okay.
Like for me,
so if we're not
Yeah.
then still, if we're not capable
Yeah.
of pulling those things off, then where is
Yeah.
this confidence from people gone from winning titles and now finishing third above Arsenal?
listen,
That's
this
my
title
point.
thing is nonsense. This
No,
title
cool.
thing's always
Okay, the
been
title thing
nonsense.
is, but Will
It's
says
stupid.
Will still expects us to finish third.
Will, that's on you. I
How?
don't agree with that.
Like
That's not
how?
on me.
I don't understand how. Like,
That's on me.
It's the same way we were top of the table in the first 10 weeks. We don't lose
Okay.
the teams that we should beat. That's how.
Okay.
Third place was a big.
couldn't we
that's a-
say that
that's-
was? But that was good form over 10 games as
Yeah.
opposed to seeing out an entire season.
No, I
right?
think that's the norm.
Yeah, but you've got no way of knowing that because it was only a 10-game patch. It was
Yeah,
form.
we can.
We've got no way of
we'll
knowing
only
that.
know
Why
the
would that be a
answer-
patch?
We'll only know the
even
answer
with,
at the end of the
even with
season,
the
right?
injury restrictions that we have, we took one of the best attacking teams in the league and we held them to not only 2 goals, but we also dominated them for 90 minutes in Aston Villa.
I think you
That's
two
my
should make a
evidence.
bet for charity on this. You should make a
But
charity.
that's,
I
bet.
think
that's
so.
not that's not evidence.
I think a charity bet.
Yes,
here
it is
due.
evidence.
But us losing a game isn't evidence that we would still be top if we had all our players fit. That's not evidence.
Yes,
we
because
don't know.
if you sprinkle those players back into that squad that played the way that we played against Aston Villa, the quality overcomes theirs and we win the game.
Okay,
That's
so
evidence.
so if we're going to go by this evidence, then what about this evidence? So we're talking about sprinkle that quality in, and suddenly we score loads of goals and we're great. Before those players got injured,
I didn't say we score loads of goals. I said we win.
okay, but before those players got injured, we still weren't scoring a lot of goals.
But we still
So
won.
where's the evidence that we?
We still won.
Sure, but where's the evidence that we would
I never
have
said
scored
we
more
would score
against Villa?
loads of goals. I said we
I didn't
would
know.
win.
I'm asking a direct question.
Yeah.
Where's the evidence we would have scored more than Villa with those players sprinkled in? There's been many a game we've
'Cause
struggled.
we would have kept them to less goals, right? First of all.
Why?
And then
Why?
Because you have Van der Ven and Romero instead of Emerson and Davies. Seriously?
Okay, but hang on.
but
Hang on. If you look at the stats for this season, even with Van der Ven and Romero at the back, Spurs give up more chances than the other top teams in the top 6. So we still would have given up chances.
Giving up what kinds of chances? Right, you're simply counting shots there, right?
Giving up chances.
Odegaard taking a shot from 30 yards out over the sky
No,
over
no,
the
no.
bar 50 feet is not a chance. Right?
Okay. So if we're going to play that game, so what about against Arsenal when Jesus blasted over the bar from 6 yards out? We gave up that chance. What about against
that's a
Liverpool?
chance.
How many times did the ball fall into our penalty area against Liverpool when you're thinking, oh, this is over, and they messed up? This whole messing up thing, right?
They didn't score.
No, they
Most of those chances are blocked.
But can I? What I will say here, we got to remember when we had our
Those defenders not
strongest
supposed to
team
block
out, whatever you want to
chances?
call it, we've only scored more than 2 goals once this season. So when we always talk about
Great.
we'd score loads and loads of chances, we don't really. Even when we had our better players on the pitch, the best we've done
we
is
may not
scored
score
5-1.
them, but we've created the second most chances in the league. Period.
Yeah, but
Right?
you could
But not
create
scored.
you
Not
could create millions of chances unless you score them, right?
Right.
Creating
But
chances
what I'm
is
saying
great
is
until you score them.
hold on. We're scoring more chances with Maddison in the team than we're not. I've heard both of you guys say that, right? But once he
Hardly.
leaves the team, the creativity is all gone, right?
Sure.
So
but we
that
still,
means the
but
higher
we,
chances. Who's finding
but we,
Son
but we
most
still
often?
created against Villa and couldn't finish our dinner. So who was missing that
Right,
would
but
score the
difference-
goals?
The difference is you got Maddison on that ball instead of Kulusevski. What are the odds, do you think, that ball, instead of hitting the post, actually comes 6 inches closer and goes
But
in
that's
the
not
back
how
of the
football
net?
works, is it? That's not.
Sure it is.
Madison would.
You're talking about quality. It's sorry.
Sure, but we
You're
don't know
talking
that
about
would have
who's
dropped
better.
to Madison, do we?
Well, that Kulusevski was playing in Madison's role, was he not?
But that doesn't mean they do the same things in game, does it?
Right, okay.
That's crazy. Like that's
Of course, because they're two completely independent statistical events, right? I'm talking about if you were to add Madison's quality to that event that happened in that game, what are the
Sure.
likelihoods of it going in versus hitting the post?
Sure. If that ball falls to Madison in the exact same way, yes, he probably scores. But there's nothing to say that he would have been in the exact same position.
Of course
The
not.
The point
but we're
we
talking-
made is what Perchy's just made. Every game we're doing this about loads of goals. We would take our chance, we would score goals. Even when all that 11 were playing, we weren't scoring many goals. We weren't scoring a lot of goals, but now all of a sudden, because we didn't beat Villa, when we had loads of chances, by the way, it's if those players had been back fit, but we still didn't finish our dinner. Romero and Van de Ven playing in that game doesn't mean we finished our chances. We would have still given up chances at the back.
Yeah, because
we
those,
always
those
do.
chances fall to Brian Johnson instead of Brian Hill, right? Those chances fall to Maddison instead of Kulusevski. Those chances fall to players with higher quality in that particular position, have a higher likelihood of finishing those chances than the ones before.
Brennan, so,
right?
so now
a
Brennan
chance
Johnson's
falling to Son on the left is way more likely to hit the back of the net than a chance falling to Richarlison, right?
Sure, but it's ifs, buts, and maybes, isn't it? This is all
it's not
ifs,
if, buts, and maybes. It's
likelihoods.
likelihoods. Right?
No,
because we're talking about what will happen in the future. Why our kid Spurs get third? How could they beat those teams if we didn't have those injuries? We have to talk about hypotheticals.
But we can't we can't do this. We can't just say Van de Ven and Romero play, we don't concede. We've conceded plenty of goals with Van de Ven and Romero on the pitch.
And we've kept 4 clean sheets with them as well, right?
Yes. But that goes to show that you can't just turn around and say the team with the second best attack in the Premier League wouldn't have scored for definite if Van de Ven and Romero had played. That's not true.
It's just a fact. We conceded less goals from open play than both Arsenal and Liverpool before Van de Ven and Romero went out. Fact.
Sure, but we conceded goals with them. So the problem is with comments like this and with the comments that you're giving, Will, again, it's absolutes. Villa would, listen to this, Villa would not have scored with Romero and Van. How does he know that? How does he know that? How does he know
the way in which they scored?
No. What Danny, I think what Danny's trying to say, but he hasn't said it. I think what he's trying to say is they probably don't, but that doesn't mean they will not. Danny, to say 100% not is incorrect.
But if you still, they probably won't. They've got the second best attack in the league. They probably will.
But I think Romero and Van de Ven together have been pretty good this season. That's why I'm saying it.
Pretty good, but teams have scored against them with less
Arsenal,
quality.
Better than Saliba and
But that's not the point. That's not. No, but Will, that's not the point. The point is we're going on like Villa.
That is the point.
Oh my God!
How do we finish above those teams? That's the point. We're arguing.
Hang on.
Are we better? Have they been better than Arsenal and Liverpool?
Hang on. Villa have the second best attack in the Premier League, and now suddenly. We definitely wouldn't have conceded if Aston Villa, if those two had played.
We had the second,
but people in the chat.
But we had the second best defence before Romero and Van de Ven both went out.
Sure, level with loads of other teams. Like, it's not like we were there on our own.
No, we were there all alone.
We were there on our own, Savva.
We were there all on our own.
All on our own.
Yeah. We were second best defence.
I think it's safe to assume that it would have been less likely for them to score had those two been on the pitch.
That's all we're saying.
I think less likely. I'm not saying they would have scored. I'm saying less likely.
They may have scored in a different way.
They are better quality defenders. They are better quality defenders than Dyer and Davies. Let's not make any bones about that.
Crystal Palace scored against us. Right?
What I'm gonna say is this. Listen, what I think the debate's really good and I'm really enjoying it. But what I will say here, guys, is we got to do some super chats because these people have put some money in.
Yeah,
so
let's.
I want to say. Listen, the debate's been good, by the way. Listen, and people, I just want to say, guys in the chat as well. Look, we're all mates here. This is a debate. This is why it's called Spurs Unleashed. Because we will not sit there and cower. It is hard debate.
We unleash.
It is what
we unleash, Perchy.
But that is exactly why we had this show. So when people sit there and say, "Oh, you're being not," guys in the chat, don't be nasty to one another. Don't be nasty to any of the guests. Savva and myself as well. Because listen, this is just a debate. We're all mates. We'll sit at the end of this and have a laugh at it. But what I will say is, I'm going to do some super chats. And the big thing is, we're just 4 subscribers away from 12K. And we will give away a shirt. We will give away a shirt tonight.
Don't subscribe. Don't subscribe. It'll cost me money.
So don't subscribe. So we don't have to
do not subscribe. By the way, Perchy, can you just ask them? Sorry, mate. Can you just say there was 425 people in here and 144 likes?
Come on. Make sure you smash the likes, guys. I want to see, after I've done all the super chats, that's got to be over 250. Easy. Get it on. Listen, we're giving you good content here on a Thursday night.
Can I just say, Travarelli, just quickly, the reality is you're in 5th place. He says, I'll take that all day long. 5th still gets you Champions League, by the way. A lot of people are forgetting that. So I'll be happy with 5th.
I don't know.
Listen, let's just go through some super chats because listen, these guys put some money in. So big up Matt Coppin with we bossed a very good Villa side on Sunday. I thought we did for the first half an hour, 40 minutes until until Bentacle got off injured for me. Anyone else? What do you think?
They had 15 chances to score goals. So
second half they did. I thought second half they showed a lot better, but I thought we were the better team first half.
Yeah, we were the better team.
I think we were the better team overall. Not saying Villa were far off us or anything like that, but I felt as soon as I saw Emerson, Davies, Skip, and Højbjerg, for me the game was done. Once I saw that,
I agree.
Can I just say my take on it? I thought Villa, once they got physical with us, I think that's when it sort of changed. They got too physical, and it was almost like, well, men against boys, and we just couldn't cope with that. And that with that physicality, of course, Bentancur got injured, but we need to be a little bit. We played a pretty football, but we need to have that physical aspect to our game as well. Villa, they were going in hard, Matty Cash, everyone else, and we just couldn't cope with that. That was my take on it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Can I just 30 seconds? Sorry, 20 seconds. My take is I thought we were dominant in the first half. I thought in the second half it was very even. They had so many chances. We had so many chances. And the thing is, when people keep saying to me, we could have been 4-0 up by half time, I feel like we're just glossing over the two wonderful chances that Aston Villa had in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah,
as well as the chances we had.
And I thought after the 60-minute mark, we were knackered and we weren't there. Big up, Matt. Thank you so much for the super chat. Means the world. Big up, Della Spurs has put in. Do you think there's a lot of pressure on Ange to win because the fans are rely on him to change the culture and the mentality of our ownership? I don't think there's pressure to win anything. I'm not sure. This is not this season, right? I'm assuming. I don't think there's any pressure to win anything this year, let alone next year. I think he's about 3 seasons into it. What do you guys think?
Can you put the super chat up again?
Can we, Perchy, can we save this? The next subject is going to kind of centre around.
Yeah. We'll keep that.
Yeah. Della Spurs. We'll come to this. We'll come back
to that one. George Green said Partey replaces Rice. Oh wait, he's injured. Timber replaces Saliba. Oh wait, he's injured. Smith Rowe replaces Odegaard. Oh wait, he's injured. Big up to you, George Guna. Thank you so much. I think we kind of touched it. I don't think we want to talk about Arsenal after. Thank you so much. Abs has said we beat Villa last season without Jesus and Partey. Big up the Arsenal lot in here today. They're all watching us. Big up to you, boys. Yeah, thank you so much, Abs, for super chat.
But when you lost Saliba, your season collapsed.
Yeah, so, when they lost Saliba, their season did collapse.
Just one player, and they dropped points 4 games straight.
Let's not delve into it too much again.
and Arsenal fans talking about last season is the wrong example to use.
Yeah. No. I agree. Emmett says, you're all wrong here. Spurs front 3 are washed. If you say so, it's your opinion, I guess.
2 out of the 3 are, yeah.
Again, you should have won the Villa game. Read super chat. I'm reading it right now. And thank you so much, Emic. Is it Emic? Whatever you want to say, whatever I've butchered it. Big up, Jay. Arsenal have no Jesus, Timber, Partey, Odegaard versus Sheffield United, and the Newcastle game with the dodgy goal. They just get on with it. No Saka versus City.
Sheffield United.
And Newcastle, though. And Newcastle.
Yeah. I think we can argue that, but let's be honest. I don't think we have any right to laugh about
you lost to Newcastle. You lost to Newcastle, and Sheffield United are whack.
But Timber, so who's starting this? Timber is not a starter.
You don't know that.
For depth.
You don't know that.
He didn't start in preseason most of the games.
You don't know that. He started in the game. He got injured.
He didn't start most of the games in preseason.
Okay, if Timber's not a starter, then I want Perisic as we don't know if he's a starter either for Spurs then.
Hang on. We do know he's not.
I want it. No, we don't.
We do know he's not.
He got injured at the start.
He did.
Look, We can agree to disagree. That's the best bit about this.
Yuri Timber started the first game of the season. That makes him a starter.
Yeah. Yes. Let's be honest.
Out.
We have to be honest with ourselves. If Timber's fit now, he starts. Let's be honest. He does start.
I personally thought, by the way, guys, they didn't sign Timber as cover at centre back. I thought they signed him to play more of an inverted wing back role.
Yeah,
Timber can play anywhere. He can play anywhere.
He can play right back,
for midfield.
DM. Big up Steve D. Styles make fights, good debates. Big up to you, my friend. And finally, big up Ricardo. Savva, goal changes game. We didn't punish Villa and paid the ultimate price, which we could all see. I don't think.
Which is my point. We don't score many goals. We don't score many goals. So every game at the beginning of games when fans go 3-0 today, 4-0 today, 4-1 today, 5-0 today, I don't know where it's coming from. We can't score goals.
Yeah.
Just saying.
No. Agreed. Thank you guys, everyone, for the super chats. We are going to move on to the next point. I've just unstarred the one that we actually wanted to talk about, so I'm going to have to scroll and get it back.
Della Spurs. It was Della Spurs.
Della Spurs. Yeah. I'll get it.
Yeah,
now.
I was going to bring up the actual point, the banner we got.
Yeah, go on.
This comes back to Della Spurs' point we'll put up again in a second. Stel, you wanted to bring this up at the beginning of the show. So the point we put up was rival fans' criticism of Ange and Perchy's just deleted all of the super chats.
Yeah.
I was going to go to it. Okay, right.
I know, I'm finding it. Give me a second. Let me find it.
So I've got it. I'm doing it. And oh no, it's deleted. You've deleted it. It's all right. Don't worry.
And I'll put it up.
Okay. Perchy, Stel, sorry. You wanted to talk about that. Della was asking about what does Postecoglou have to do? Is there pressure on him to win? I'm going to tie that into the pressure that may be from the outside and the criticism coming from the outside. Take it away.
No, I think, yes, he is under pressure to win because every manager's under pressure to win because that's what you get paid to do, to get results. In any job, walk of life, you are paid to get a result, whether it's sales, whether it's marketing, to bring you business, whether it's to get the accounts done on time, whether it's to get the boiler fixed before the family come home. Everyone's under pressure to get results. So, yes, he's under pressure. That's why you get paid to do a job. However, what he has said all along, and I go back to it, he has said, I don't have goals, I don't have targets. I just want to see us improve and the fans will judge it. By the end of the season, the fans will make it clear whether we are achieving the goals, right? So that says to me, relax. This is going to take me time. I know what I'm doing. I've earned the right to be at this club. That's why they've picked me. And I just need to do my thing. And I think that the criticism we're getting from some fans is just purely to shit on Spurs and to mud us. And it's not critical football analysis. I don't rate most YouTube channels or podcasters because I just feel they just want to debate. Let's just have a debate. Okay, great. You do your debates. I actually like it when people critically think, analyze, discuss the pros and the cons. It can't all just be happy clapper shit because I hate that just as much. But it can't all be negative because that stinks. And what I find is we all said this squad is thin. Every anti or non-Spurs channel said your squad is thin. As soon as it goes thin, they now want to shit on the manager. But hold on, you all said to us your squad is thin. When that happens, you're in trouble. So now you've been proven right. Why are you shitting on the manager? You predicted this. We predicted this. Maybe not all Spurs fans. Some said we're going to win the league, and good luck to them. But I just feel there's a lot of hypocrisy. And then I often hear, Jurgen Klopp was given 4 years. Fergie took 4 years. Arteta, it's his 4th year. He's got to deliver this year. And after 13 games, let's go in on Ange. Let's criticize Ange. I just find it so. I mean, you guys tell me what you think. I find it so disingenuous out there from non-Spurs channels. The only one, and I'm going to give him credit, the only one I've heard who's actually said, do you know what? I see what Ange is doing. He's struggling because of injuries. And do you know what? Give the guy a break. The only one that has stood up for us, in my opinion, is that Matisse guy from Chelsea. And I can't believe a Chelsea fan of all has actually said, guys, can't you see what Ange is doing here, though? Like, relax.
Can Can I bring Has in? I want to bring Has into this. Has, so I have a theory on this. I've seen a lot of criticism coming from rival fans onto Ange. For me, I think that a lot of the criticism coming from rival fans to Ange is because of Spurs fans. Because we're the ones that have been bigging it up to the point where it's almost intolerable at times. As a Spurs fan, I found it a bit nauseating how people talked about winning titles, how people just saying we're better than all these top teams who are clearly much better than us. We're the ones that have been telling everyone that Ange is the best thing. We've got fans going on to channel shows going, he's better than Poch, even though Poch did brilliantly for years and years. I'm not saying he can't be, by the way. Isn't that the ammunition that those fans need? Because we went out there, as a fan base, going, Spurs are great. We're not Spursy anymore. We're going to win a league. We're better than this team. We're better than you. And then all of a sudden, those fans have waited for this to happen and are sniping. It makes sense. I get it.
It's not fair, in my opinion. And we did say, like, you can't have two bites of the cherry. You can't, first of all, say we're going to win the league under Ange. I mean, we're going to go and win the league and everything there is to win. And then when things aren't going right, then start criticising the same manager who you were, rooting for the first 10 games. It's not fair. If you look at what's going on at Chelsea at the moment, Pochettino, you'd think, is a man under immense pressure at the moment because they've spent a lot of money. They've heavily invested in young players and young talent. And quite clearly, there's a philosophy that they want to get across over there. Now, we're watching what's going on over there. They're quite happy and willing to wait for that to come to fruition, whenever that may be next season or whatever. So why isn't anyone criticising Pochettino at the moment? What's going on over there? Why is he getting, all this time to do what he wants to do with that squad? Similarly, if you go back a few seasons, Arteta, we were all laughing at them when they were bottom of the league, having lost the first 3 games, utter crap, playing crap football. He was given 2-3 seasons to sort it out. He weeded out the defence, brought in Saliba, brought in Gabriel, and he was given time to increase the squad depth, which he has now. So I think it's very unfair, the criticism that Ange is coming under, especially from rival fans. It's not fair that he's not being afforded the time. And I think in many ways he's the victim of his own success at the moment, having won the first 10 games. I think expectation levels from rival fans were sort of up there as well as our own fans who were sort of, for the first 10 games, we were going to win the league. So I think all this criticism is uncalled for. We need to give him at least a season to let him or allow him to get the players that he wants at the club, to then judge him after he's got everyone he wants. The first 11, the subs, the squad. That's the time that when we need to judge Ange, is when, right, Ange, you've got your first 11, you've got your players to cover the first 11, but you're not winning games. What's going on? That's the time to criticise Ange. We can't do that now. We've still got players from, the Poch era, from 10 years ago. The likes of Dyer, Davies coming on still. No manager in the world will get a tune out of these players. Let's be honest. They're past their sell-by date. They need to move on. We've said this so many times. It's like a broken record. It's like we're on spin cycle every time. Until those players go and we get other players come in that are suitable for the system that Ange wants to play, that is the only time we can judge Ange. But I think those Tottenham players, Tottenham supporters at the moment who are criticising him, if there are any, and rival fans, I think it's really unfair. If other managers are being afforded the time, and I mentioned the two there, Arteta and Pochettino, and possibly a couple of others that I might have forgotten, then certainly Ange needs to be afforded that time as well. So look, guys, persevere. He'll come good, but the board need to back him. And most of all, the fans, our own fans, need to back him as well. And we need to back what he's doing. He's got an impossible task at the moment. He really has. We said it before. Even under Conte had players under players who played under Poch. Jose Mourinho had players who played under Poch. Nuno had players who played under Poch. These managers only managed to get 2 or 3 players in under their tenure, along with a couple of loan signings. So, that's all I've got to say on the matter, really. But I just think it's unfair to sort of round it off, Savva.
Yeah. I mean, Will, let me come to you. Actually, sorry, Will, just before I do, true to our word, we will give away a shirt of your choice. If you type in what I've just typed in now, #LoveSpurs, #LoveSpurs, you can see it right here. This is what you need to type in. Thank you, Jono. I am unbearable. My wife tells me every day. I live off this. Thank you. If you type in, this unbearable human's about to buy somebody a football shirt. What an unbearable human he is. #LoveSpurs. Everyone puts that in. It will put you into a draw. We will do the draw at the end of the show, and then we will give you a shirt of your choice. We will send it to you, but you must be here when we do the draw to clarify the rules. And also, you'll need to message us afterwards on Instagram so that we can get your address, etc.
I do love what you done there. It was brilliant, because I've just seen the Arsenal fans going, I can't type that. It's making me giggle.
Why would they want to win a Spurs shirt anyway?
But they can win any shirt.
Anyone.
They can win a shirt of their
Any
choice.
shirt.
Okay.
Just means I have to make a deposit to the Arsenal base. But Will, let me come to you. Surely it is a bit of a double-edged sword for the Spurs fans, right? This is what goes hand in hand. When we want to talk big and we want to get hyped up, we've got to take the abuse when it starts to all fall down, right? We would do it to, if Arsenal lost 3 in a row now, we would certainly be doing it to them. So are we just getting what we deserve? This is just football banter, or is it harsh what the opposing fans are doing?
It's just disingenuous banter, right? Because everybody knows the situation that we're in, right? And the reason why, look, I've already been talking to Arsenal fans. They've been at the top of the table for what now? For 3 days, 4 days, just because of the end of the thing. And they're already saying, we're the best team in England.
Oh, they're unbearable.
Yeah, it's but it's what I'm saying. Like, they haven't even been there a full week yet, right? And they're already chatting like they've been there all season long, and then they'll never even lose it. I'm sorry, you guys aren't going to win the league. You're not going to. I don't even think I don't even think it'll be close this year for you guys. But that's just me. But.
I love you, Will, so much. As much as I love a row with you, Will, I do. It's just like, you guys won't even be close, and you can just see all the Arsenal fans on their keyboards going.
That's why we get this shit. That's why we get it.
That's why, right? Yeah, right there.
I'll take it because I guarantee you, right? At least I don't hide, right? Win, lose, or draw. I'm on this show. I'm on Mo's show. I'm on whoever's show. I'll go on Terry's show. It doesn't matter who it is, right? They send me a link. I'll show up. It doesn't matter, right? I never hide. Savva doesn't hide. I don't hide. I will take it and I will give it, right? And Arsenal fans, I am the Hassam of the Arsenal fan base right now. As Hassam is to the Tottenham fan base, because they can't stand the fact that I am talking the truth to them. They see it with their eyes. It hurts their soul and it makes them cry. And I love it every day. I shower in Gooner tears.
I mean, listen, I love how Will goes out for them, because it's Will doing things like that, which is why I get so much abuse when I go on things like the Football Terrace. Love it. But Perchy, by the way, I've just volunteered. If we get to 12.1k, we'll give away 2 shirts. There you go, 2 shirts. Sorry,
okay,
Perchy,
there you go.
I'm just spending our money here for fun.
It's absolutely fine. Listen, if we get to 12.1 today, definitely throw another shirt in. Definitely.
Perchy, let me ask you. Listen, I don't feel like any fan base learns other than Man City fans, if I'm brutally honest. Like, Man City fans can go to the top of the league and they'll be like, oh, it's not over yet. We have a dip. Whatever. Liverpool fans get there. Their fans are unbearable. We were top of the table. I'll be honest. Not all. I get told off for saying that. Some of our fans were unbearable. Arsenal fans have been top for a few days. Loads of their fans are now unbearable. I get it that it's football banter, but does no fan base ever learn? Like, do we never ever learn that if you are going to give it, you're going to get it back? Like, isn't that how it works?
No, look, I agree. This is why I always feel like I get it all the time. Oh, like you're so you're you just don't believe what we're doing. I said, that's not why I don't believe what we're doing. I do believe actually what we're doing is great. But for me, it's all about, I always try and feel like I have to feel level with it all. I'm one of those. I've always been one of those and I'll use a mic because it might just spark debate, but why not? It's all fun. But what I will say is when I was seeing a lot of stuff on social media about Matty Cash going, oh, he's a disgrace, he's this, he shouldn't be playing football again. I sit back and go, hang on a minute, aren't we the same fan base? Not everyone. I'm not going to say everyone, but I mean, aren't we the same fan base that absolutely love what Romero does? And I always sit back and go, I can't be one of those fans that sits there and goes, oh, they're good, but then they're not good. Like, and I try and see it all for what it is. And do I think we're going places? Yeah. But can I also sit there and suggest that there are teams that are going to be better than us this season? But for me, I've always stood by my philosophy this season. I don't care where we finish. I just want this manager to be here and work his magic, because he is going to be magic for us. That's what I will say.
Yeah, but I mean, and to the Arsenal fans who are saying that I'm a liar, I'm not, right? By the way, like, he may have started all of the games in preseason, which I was incorrect about, but it was because Zinchenko was injured all the way until September, right? So you can check that yourselves. That's why after Timber got injured, you had Tomiyasu playing there and you had Kouassi the next week, right? So I was right for the reason. I just may have not watched all of your preseason games. Forgive me.
By the way, there's only 51 people, by the way, that have typed in #LoveSpurs for a free football shirt.
Yes, he was. Look it up, Angus McDowell. Go look it up on Transfer Market, SofaScore, whatever. Zinchenko was injured, calf muscle injury from the end of last season all the way until September. Sorry, bud. I just looked it up. So
51 of you. There's 368 people in here. 51 of you have just typed in. All you got to do is type in #LoveSpurs. That is mad for your chance to win.
I do find it amazing. We lost 60 viewers after saying we'll give away a shirt. Like, you'd have thought we'd have loads more people here, but yeah.
Have to get on her knees to kiss you, Savva.
What?
How nice. I don't know.
Anyway,
that is getting
he's
blocked.
saying you're short or something. I don't know. But
listen, anything, don't bring my wife into it.
yeah, it's not cool.
Yeah,
That's
rule
not
101.
cool, don't bring my wife into it.
Yeah,
Karen, Will, sorry.
Question? Oh, I can't remember what the question was.
It was about look, essentially other fan bases. Let's be fair. For the first 10 games, I think, well, most people I saw, it went one of two ways. Will, it was, oh my God, Spurs look really good this year. We love the football they're playing. They've surprised us. The other half were very much, whether they believed it or not, were going, oh, it's Spurs. They'll be Spursy. You know, it's going to capitulate. So for the ones that thought that, they're now justifying themselves, right? Like, oh, we knew it was always going to happen, blah, blah, blah. The ones that were surprised have now doubled down on it and going, oh, it's Spurs. It's the history of Spurs, what they do. I just don't think we helped ourselves as a fan base by just how carried away we got. Because realistically, like Stel said, there isn't any, for me, there hasn't been any pressure on him this year to finish top 4 or win a trophy.
See, I think of it 2 different ways. I hear you, and yes, they are doing that, right? But this is how I shut them down every single time, and they have no argument. Is basically, right? If I would say that let's take Hassam for example. I love Hassam, by the way, big up Hassam. But all of the trash talk that he was chatting, right? If that had happened with Romero, Van de Ven, and Maddison fit, I would say, okay, you got it right, you got one right. But because they aren't, so the only way that those teams, Liverpool, Arsenal, City, this is his logic based on that, right? If he's going to use those injuries, the only way that they can play better than us and be higher than us on the table is if we have injuries. Because if he's not basing it down to other reasons, if it's just simply, haha, you drop points just like I said you would, but did we? Right? Because you didn't say we were going to lose 4 players in one game, right? You're muted still, but that's the point that I'm trying to make, right? And it doesn't. Every team has injuries. Not every team has injuries this seriously all at the same time.
Will, can I double down on this? Because Robbie from AFTV, he said, and he said it a number of times now, Postecoglou is the Australian Bielsa. 2 things.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Bielsa couldn't defend. Spurs had the 2nd best defensive record in the league until we lost our centre backs. And when Saliba got injured last year, Why couldn't his beloved Arteta find a different way then? Sometimes you're just stuck with the lack of quality needed. And I feel there's a disingenuous narrative being said. And you know
100%.
what? It probably is down to what Savva said, because certain Spurs fans gave it such the big uns at the start that they're just looking for anything to chip away at us now that there's, we're in a mini slump. So, but I do think it's disingenuous, some of the things that are being said.
Yeah. I mean, it's football fans, right? I mean, I'll ask you, Stel, if Arteta now loses 3 games in a row with Arsenal, they're going to get that right. Everyone's then going to go in and go, Arteta's no good.
It was simply when the final whistle blew at Chelsea, we were getting it. They didn't even wait 3 games. It was the final whistle of the Chelsea game.
Yeah, it's true.
They were
ready. The knives are out. I think as well, it's context, right? So for me, I've always said this, and I'll stick by this as long as I'm a Spurs fan, right? I will never, ever go in on a Spurs manager unless they're given at least 3 to 4 years and they are backed each summer to build something. If that happens, then I'm putting it all on the manager. At that point, right, this is all on you now. Not Levy, not Enoch, not Donna Cullen, not lack of money. It's on you. Arteta, he's now had that. He's had 3 years, 700 million. Now it has to be all on him. He's at that stage. If we're lucky enough to witness a Spurs manager get to that stage, I hope Ange gets that, then I will 100% say, right, Ange, you've got your squad. These are your players. You've got rid of the Dyers, the Sessegnons, and all. So, even maybe Savva, even maybe next season, if he's had 2 transfer windows, I think there's a fair time there to say, right, we can start being more critical about this guy because he's had 2 big windows and a January window.
Can I ask you a question, though?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? And just quickly, it is not I love Spurs. It's #love Spurs. There's no I in it. I'm going to type it again. #love Spurs. I thought we'd have 200-300 people. By the way, even if you are a Gooner or a Man United fan and you type in #love Spurs, you don't have to win a Spurs shirt. It's going to be a shirt from your own
of your choice
shop.
Yeah,
so
make Savva buy an Arsenal kit.
Yes, knowing my luck, someone will picture me in an Arsenal club shop going, I knew he was a Gooner. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. But still, what I've found quite frustrating as somebody who, listen, we all love the debates. We all like the heated debates that we had earlier. I think we all love them. No one gets offended by them. And sure. We're here for it, right? That's what we like to do.
Yeah.
What I'm getting a bit frustrated about is it's that criticizing something Postecoglou does now seems to be outlawed. It really does seem to be outlawed. Like if I turn around and go, I didn't quite like that. It's, you don't know Ange. Oh my God, get off the manager's back. That's where I think it's silly still, that now you can't even have a football conversation where you're criticizing an action without people thinking you hate the manager and want him out. That for me is where I think all of that needs to kind of calm down, meet in the middle and realize that if you lose games, no matter whether it's injuries or not, football fans are going to talk about tactics. They are going to talk about substitutions. They are going to talk about what the manager could have done differently, right? Is that not true?
Yeah, as long as at the same time we discuss what we think led to the manager being in the situation as well. And for example, you look at Spurs, and I've said this before earlier on the show. Fans criticised him for the high line. Against Wolves, we did not do that. He changed it. He went more pragmatic, more defensive, and we know that by the team selection. That failed. After the Wolves game, he completely changed the team. He put Kulu in the 10, dropped Højbjerg Skip, dropped Eric Dyer, put Brendan Johnson in the position we wanted. So this manager, every game since Chelsea, when we lost the key players through suspensions and injury, every game since, he has tried something different. He's adapting, and it's still not working. So as long as we say that, then criticize it. But I don't know any Spurs manager in my time who's had to deal with a bit of an injury situation and suspension situation who's trying to adapt without losing the philosophy. And I think we need to praise that as much, which I don't find is happening as much though. So that's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'll circle back round to you. I mean, isn't it a degree though? Like, how many games So we're free at the moment, Has. And in a minute, we're going to talk about Man City. I know Will's got half an hour left. I'll go to Has and then we'll talk Man City. It's got away for us tonight. Hope everyone enjoyed that massive debate earlier. I said massive debate just in case anyone was confused about what came out of my mouth there. Has, yeah, lots of injuries, sticking to the principles, love to see it, all of that. But at the same time, how many defeats in a row can we have and still there can't be anything put on the manager? I'm not blaming him at the moment, by the way. I'm not blaming him for anything. But if this got to 6, I'm not saying it will. I'm just playing hypotheticals for everyone who's got me. If this got to 6, at that stage, are people going to get restless? At that stage, are people going to start questioning things the manager is doing? Is it 5 games, 4 games, 6 games, 7 games? Where does it go? Where does it lay?
I don't know. I can only go by what I've seen and heard this season. And the most common thing that I've heard is, well, at least we played well when we've lost. So when we've lost, fans have come out and said, you know what, we've lost, but we gave it a good go. We've played good football, but we still lost. So with that in mind, I don't exactly know how many games it's going to take. Even if it was 6 or 7 games, I think these fans will, possibly get restless, but I think they're willing to give him a chance. I don't think the wheels will completely fall off in terms of fans baying for blood. I think they'll give him a bit of time, a bit of a rest break, as long as he sort of tries to play that football that everyone's craving for. And that's what Ange is, he's focusing on that at the moment to make sure that the team are playing a better brand of football, despite the squad having its limitations. And that's what's happened this season. We saw it in the Chelsea game. I've never seen that before, where we got spanked 4-1 and our fans come out and said what good football we played. They said, we gave it a good go and they were pleased with the football that we tried to play. So in that respect, I think the fans will give him time. The fans will stay off his back as long as he plays the type of football that the fans want to see. Because we saw what happened with Jose, saw what happened with Conte. Fans got bored. We was playing crap football and also losing at the same time, which is not a very good combination.
Can I ask you a quick question, right? Do you think, and in fact, everyone can answer this. Do you think if we keep playing this attacking football, keep trying to keep possession, sticking to the philosophy, but keep losing a few more games, do you believe that eventually this is going to land? That this will pay off, and then there's the win. Finally, sort that back.
That's the plan, though. That's the plan. That's got to be the plan. Because when was the last time we offered a manager a 4-year contract? Which one was the last one?
Nuno.
Yeah, Nuno, wasn't it?
You gave Nuno a 4-year contract.
But
I can't remember. It was the long one, though.
But to caveat that, Conte on £15 million per year for 2 years is a far bigger sting than Ange on a 4-year contract on £2 million a year.
I get that. But does that 2-year contract show you that there's a plan in place?
That's fair enough.
A long-term plan. This is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
We've offered the manager, we've offered Ange a 4-year plan. Let's not forget, we've brought in staff, backroom staff. Okay, we've made big changes, backroom staff. For me, that says there's a plan in place. For me, that says we want Ange to stay. Okay, build the philosophy, build what he wants to build here. We've given him the backroom staff to be able to do that. So for me, that says he's going to be given time. There's no two ways about that. I never had the same feeling with Conte.
Do you know what? I actually agree with you on this one, because I think the bit I would suggest is it'll be all, whether people like it or not, it is going to come down to fan perception. Let's be honest. If we lose 6 on the bounce, I'm not saying we will, but just if we do, and the fans are still behind this manager, they can't sack him. I think it sounds silly when you think about it, but in context, there'll be a revolt if they sack this guy, because I think fans can see what this guy can do. And that's what my position has always been. I think this is where this season is a write-off, not in the good sense of this manager has it all. This manager has years to get down the line. I think when people get excited, when I say things like write off, people go, "Oh, what you want about?" But I think if you get the context of what I'm saying, I don't think it matters where we finish this season, and I don't think it matters if we win or don't win anything this season. I don't think we will, but I think it matters season 2, season 3, though.
Can we move on to Man City? And I just want to put out there, sorry, I just need to say that, and hopefully Stel will help me out on this one. That topic of debate wasn't actually me who entered that topic into debate. That was a topic that you asked me to bring up, Stel. Is that right? At the beginning of the show, you asked me to
at the start of the show.
to put that in.
You said anything else you want to talk about? I said, yeah. Can we please talk about the criticism from rival fans for Ange?
Yeah, so please don't do this. No one's trying to bring back Ange down. It's the amount of people that go into football debate shows that don't want to hear any debate about football is mind-blowing. Like, go and watch Peppa Pig or something.
I just gotta love it, man. Like, I love it too. Like, you got all these Arsenal fans. They're just crying. Like, how many have been blocked out for just attacking me personally? Which, by the way, mods, I appreciate it. Right, and I know that that's a rule here on the channel, so respect the rules of this channel, right? But
they don't have to block anything unless it's really becomes
hateful.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like these guys, I am in their head so much. I love it. It's like sugar, sweet vibe, candy. I drink it. I live off it because these guys talk about me in chats of streams. I'm not even on. I'm not even on the stream. And I'll show up in the comments and in the videos. Like, literally, it's hilarious, right? Like, they'll go on these. This is a neutral channel, technically, right? The Football Heritage TV. You guys do cover, multiple. It's tinted towards. It's got Spurs tinted glasses, but it's a neutral channel. Most channels are neutral channel. And the Arsenal fans cry so much, stop having that Will guy on the show. All he does is take the piss out of Arsenal. The more you do that, the more I'm going to do it.
You do realize, though, your love of it, right? On Monday, you weren't on the show. People were in the comments saying, Stel, you're a clown. Will Stewart said, I'm like, hold on a minute.
Welcome to my world, Stelios. Don't talk to me about that.
I just find it hilarious.
Speak to Will.
I can't mention anything like Postecoglou's the manager of our football club. He's going to be in most debates that we have, right? In most debates that we have, Postecoglou's going to be involved in it, right? The same way Levy's the owner, he's going to be involved in them. The same way that Son, who's been here forever, is going to be involved in debate. I don't know what people want to debate. Like your titling video, like Stop the Rot. I don't know about you. That's just a turn of phrase, isn't it? To stop losing games. It's not a big deal. Like, I just don't understand it. Coys 54. You need to go somewhere else, mate, where you can handle football conversation. Because you do you know what? Go and watch the Hotspur hippie. There you go. Go and watch him. He's full of love.
I just want to throw this out there. I'm just gonna drop this truth bomb out there. Nobody was talking about Ange's high line until we lost. I'm just gonna say that. Nobody was complaining about it until we lost.
I'm not complaining about Ange's high line. I was complaining about the high line against Chelsea when he doubled down on it. That's all I was.
At that point, though, the bomb had exploded inside the stadium. You just throw the Kinch of Sink at it. Wolves was completely different. I was actually disappointed that we had kind of regressed. I wanted to keep going. Aston Villa was a breath of fresh air, and we'll have to watch and see what happens to City. I mean, who knows? Hell could smile upon City just like it did against us versus Chelsea. They could get 3 red cards, right? I mean, Rodri's known to choke a guy now and then. So we'll see what happens. All
right. Well, listen, let me read out the super chats and then we'll get into Man City.
I love it, Saul. Don't worry about me, man. I love it.
Hang on, let me get this out of the way. First of all, big up Simon Davis, who became a new YouTube member. Big up to you. We have got some channel member only shows. I'm guessing Perchy's going to do one next week because I will be on holiday from Saturday morning. Big up to you, Simon Davis. Thank you very much. Matt Coppin has come back in and said we need to think back to last season's mess. Oh, don't worry. No one's forgotten about last season's mess. It's still there. It's still fresh. But big up to you, Matt Coppin. Thank you very much. And Mile High Hotspur, big up, Leo. Hope you're well out there.
Big up, Leo.
As said, big up. Congrats on 12K. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And one last chance. People have got 11 minutes to type in hashtag Love Spurs to win a free shirt. It's literally a real football shirt for free. All you got to do is type in, I think that works out to 10 characters on your keyboard, and only 83 people have so far.
Listen, we don't have to beg you guys to get a shirt, right?
Stop it. Stop it. Next one, you're going. I'm bored of these lies. I love Postecoglou. I just like
we all
debate.
love Postecoglou here. Come on, man.
Jesus Christ, grow up. Or grow a pair or go and support Arsenal. There you go. I said it.
It's like Arsenal fans. If you mention the word Saliba, they just lose their
exactly.
shit, right? Like he
That's
was the
where we've
worst
got
player
to.
on the pitch last night versus Lens, right?
But you know what, Will? People want us to have a football debate, right? They want us to come onto a channel, have a football debate. And, right, okay. Oh, sorry. No, Stel, sorry. That was too critical. Could you not say that, please? Oh, Will, what do you mean? What have you said about Postecoglou? It's a football debate show. If you don't want it, go and watch one of those channels that just want love.
It's called Spurs Unleashed for a reason, guys.
Spurs Unleashed. Right, talking about Spurs Unleashed. Spurs have a nice, easy trip.
Sorry, Savva. You've got another super chat from my university bro.
G-Chain?
G-Chain. Big up to Girish.
I like that. Sounds like a really rich rapper. Big up G-Chain. Thank you very much for the super chat. Said first time listener. He must think we're absolutely all bonkers. Really enjoyed the show. Yeah, just sub to your channel, bro, and look forward to the next one. Big up my bro Stel each and every time. Big up to you. Thank you, G-Chain. Listen, on this channel, we like debates, we like rows, we like. I don't just want everyone to be cuddling and saying, "Oh, I love you" and I agree with you. We'll do that backstage afterwards, all right? But big up to you, G-Chain. Really appreciate that. And then Olu has come in and said, "I got the black and white TV for Spurs." Last league win. That's quite funny, actually.
Last league win? Oh, last league trophy.
Yeah, not 1961. Yeah.
1961.
Fair play, Olu. I'll give you that one.
Big up to you, Olu. Big up to you. Thank you very much. Guys and girls, for the last 10 minutes, Man City away. Ideally, you want to be going there with your 11, right? You want to be going there with Van der Ven, Romero. Talk to me. Who's holding out hope? How do we beat them? Are we just looking now at limiting the score? What's a good result? Has, let me come to you. What do you reckon, mate?
Yeah, look, I think with Manchester City, we are sort of like their bogey team. I know we're playing at Manchester City. It's not going to be an easy game. If it was at home, I would say maybe we might stand the chance because they've never beaten us at home in the new stadium. But you got to say, with Haaland back, fully fit squad, barring maybe one or two players, it's going to be a tough day in the office. I think they're going to try to expose the wings. I mean, look at Jack Grealish up against the likes of Porro, and then you've got Bernardo Silva, Foden. It's just, the team is absolutely amazing, isn't it? But, look, both teams are going to play that high line. We're going to play that high line. You'd imagine Ange is going to deploy the high line again, and Pep won't be afraid to do the same because, pound for pound, they've got much better players. Is Romero back for that game, is he?
No,
he's not back.
He's not.
We're still going to have our
West Ham
makeshift
on
defense.
Thursday.
I'll be honest with you guys. I'll just say it off the bat now. There's no point in me going on about it. I think we're going to lose the game. I don't think it's going to be as convincing as everyone is saying it's going to be. But we are going to lose the game. I think we'll try to batten the hatches somewhat because we've got a really shocking defence. We can't. There's no way we can play a high line against Manchester City with Ben Davies or Eric Dyer or anyone else coming in, or Royale coming in. I'm sorry, it's just not going to work. And it's going to be, we're going to have moments where it's going to be absolutely shocking. And yeah, I think it will be a 3-1 or a 3-0 to Manchester City, if I'm being honest. Sorry, guys. Sorry, everyone.
No.
I just think, we're going to lose.
You guys must have got colour TV pretty late in the UK because we've had colour TV here since the 50s. So I don't know what people are talking about in the chat. Like, they're rolling on this colour TV thing.
I just let it happen in the chat.
So,
Just let it happen. Just let it happen. At least no one's called me a CUNT tonight, but there's still time for that. There's still time. Stel, let me come to you. City away. People are saying City aren't firing. For a team that aren't firing, they're scoring a hell of a lot of goals. And they've played 24 games at the Etihad in 2023, won 23 and drawn 1. What's your feelings about the game?
I think this is going to go one of two ways, and I'll tell you which way I think it will go. One way, we're going to get absolutely pumped. We're really going to get hammered, 4-1, 5-0, something like that. For all the reasons Has explained, we don't have centre backs. We don't have our strongest midfield. We're not scoring goals at the moment. All roads lead to a Spurs loss, and quite a convincing loss. Having said that, I also see a scenario where Spurs come out the traps and properly go at Man City, which is what I think we're going to do. And actually, we get a couple of goals, and now the game opens up. City might be a little bit leggy from midweek because they had a tough game when they had to come back from 2-0 down, really had to dig deep, which they did.
Was it tough?
Well, they had to dig deep to get the result, though. 2-0 down.
I watched it. They were 2-0 down, but it's not like they had all the football. It wasn't like they were chasing. They had all the ball, and they just conceded 2 on the counter-attack. Are we clutching?
Still to come back 2-0 in Champions League, maybe they made it look easy. It's not easy. They probably made it look easy because they're the best team in Europe. That's why they won the treble last year. But I think they'll be a little bit leggy. Not necessarily that's it. They can't play another game. No, they won the treble last year because they played 2-3 games every week for God knows how long. But I just think there comes a moment where there's only so many performances you can put in where you just keep losing. If I was putting a bet on this game, I'm putting money on Man City to beat us. Right? If I was a betting man, I would say my advice to anyone is Man City to win by 3 clear goals, right? However, I think it's going to be one of those games, and I've seen it before with Spurs, where it's all gone wrong, it's all against us, it's doomsday, and we just pull something silly out of the hat. And I think maybe just this is that game where we get those goals and we make it a game. I still don't think we'll win, but I can see where we draw, and it goes.
Now we're gonna lose.
To like a
so give me a score prediction then, Stel. I think you just covered all bases there, so give me a score prediction.
I think this is that game where we get a 2-2.
Sam, you got to do the opposite. The whole first half of the season, you telling us we were going to lose, and then we kept winning. Now you're saying we're going to win.
He's only doing it because he doesn't want Man City winning it.
I know, but he's.
I know you, Sam. He's doing it on purpose.
He's got to predict us the
we know your game.
Then we'll win.
I just want though, right? There is a 90% chance that I'm wrong, right? There's a 90% chance.
Here we go. Look, it's 2.
No. I'm sticking to my guns.
Go on.
I'm going 2-2. I know I'm defying reality here. All I want is this. If I'm proven right, I want all the Arsenal and Chelsea fans in the chat tonight to come on and praise Ange Postecoglou, right? I want to hear it. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go.
If I'm wrong, you're all going to destroy me anyway. And I'll be sitting here like just crying and looking like a chump.
So Has went for 3-1 City, is that right? Went for 3-1 City?
Yeah, I'll give us a goal. I think we can get a goal. I say 3-1 City. Yeah.
3-1. Stel's going for 2-2. Perchy, 3-1, 2-2. Two very opposite.
I think it's going to finish. Man City are going to beat us 4-1, and it's only because they'll stop playing and they'll just sit back after. Listen, I wish I'm wrong, but I just sit there and look at this Man City team. I'm looking at it from the likes of Doku, Silva, and Haaland, for example, against our back four. Yeah. Like, let's be honest, it's all well and good, but Emerson Royale at centre half is terrifying, or Eric Dyer, if he puts him in, terrifying. I think Ben Davies is okay, but I think Haaland will. They're dominating. Doku versus Pedro Porro. That is going to be the most one-sided battle you'll ever see in a game of football.
Or Jack Grealish.
Yeah. Or Jack Grealish. It doesn't matter which one they put there. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Stel's right and we come out of the ball. I think that's it. One thing I'll do, and one thing I will say, win, lose or draw on Sunday, I don't think we'll win. But what I will say on this is, what I do want to see is just, go out there and just give it a go. We've got nothing to lose, right? We all expect, most of us think, in our heart of hearts, think we're going to lose this game. Let's be real. Deep down, we think we're going to lose this one. But what I will say, just give it a go.
I don't think that's true, Perchy. I'm seeing so many people in the Spurs chat are posting Spurs to win or draw.
Yeah, but they don't mean it. They feel like, oh, maybe we can. Be honest with yourselves. You don't think we're going to win, but if we do,
Pipes is going 6-0.
Can I just
win.
say,
We are not going to
could be.
We're not winning.
Can I just say, guys, in the chat, Eddie Tottenham supporters in the chat, right? It doesn't make you any less of a Tottenham supporter if you say Manchester City will beat us. It doesn't.
The best
Honestly,
team
guys,
in the world, man.
take off the glasses for a second. If we had a first 11 at the moment against City, like this weekend, I would say, do you know what? We've got a good chance. We'll give them a great game. It could be anyone's game, but we've got to face the facts. And remember, it doesn't make you any less of a Tottenham supporter for all of you.
Yeah, listen, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, just quickly, and I'm seeing people put in Doku is a dribble merchant, no end product. I mean, he's played 10 Premier League.
Sorry, he's a quality football player. I'm not having that one.
He's played 10 Premier League games and has got 8 goal contributions in 10 Premier League games.
Ryan Isaacs, sorry, Ryan Isaacs.
Yeah,
he said
4 of those came.
I'm really sorry.
Game.
I'm really
Doesn't
sorry.
matter. Doesn't matter.
You use that against Son though.
But again, Will, you're doing this is what I was saying earlier. This is what we do. If a Spurs player had 8 goal contributions in 10 games, we lose our minds. When it's
Son
somebody
did
from
have
another
8 goal
club.
Contributions in 10 games.
Sorry?
Son did have 8 goal contributions in 10 games.
What are we talking about?
You said if a Spurs player had 10 goal contributions in 10 games,
Yeah, but what's Son got to do with this conversation? I don't understand. Why has Son got to be the answer to
everything? If a Spurs
everything?
player had 10 goal contributions in 10 games, right? Son did.
Right?
Yeah. And we didn't go crazy or wild about it. In fact, people complained about
Crazy
it.
and wild about what? So I missed the beginning.
I don't understand this. I don't understand what
got 5
Son's
of
got to do
those
with anything.
8 in one game.
Right?
Right. But that's a purple patch, right? The first 5, 6, 7 games, he didn't really do much at all for City, as far as goal contributions is concerned.
Who? Doku?
Yeah.
So every time I've watched Man City play, when he's playing, I look at him and go, he's a proper football player. I think.
Well, I'm not saying he's not good. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the goal contributions sound better than reality, right? Those
do you know what? This is
2 or 3 games.
When we always debate goal contributions, right?
This
I
is
sit
why
back and go, the way Man City play, like it's like people completely forget how Man City play. Like I had this massive debate with Phil Foden not too long ago, and I sit back and go, and it's like we watch Man City play, and you just watch Jeremy Doku play. He will absolutely tear Pedro Porro a new one if he plays. Huh?
You don't think he'll tear Pedro Porro a new one?
No.
Pedro Porro's the most dribble pass player in the league.
Yeah, and you've got the best.
You've got the best attacked player in the league.
Huh?
Yeah, and he'll be attacked again massively. Sorry.
Right. And he's still the second best right back in the league so far.
Remember this?
No, he's not.
He is.
Stop this. See, he's not the second best right back in the league. He is awful defensively.
Remember, guys, remember this.
Second
1
best
minute.
right back.
Will Savva.
We've gone silly again.
Hear me out. 1 second.
Fact.
Guys, 1 second. Remember
How can it be a fact that he is the second best right back in the league?
Defensive contributions, tackles, all of those things. He's the second best
Let,
right back in
let's
the league.
Let's speak.
A really logical response, right? Remember this chat, write it down, and bring it back up next Thursday after the game's played. And then
No, because will find a stat on Sunday that proves something that didn't. Pedro Porro, right? Hang on.
We will all know. We can all back up.
I watched Pedro Porro get ripped to pieces by, is it Bellegarde of Wolves? Bellegarde?
Oh, yeah, Bellegarde had him on post.
Every game, they attacked him. Sterling for Chelsea. Every time, they attacked Porro in that first half. Right? Palace, all their attacks, they attacked Porro. I don't know what... If anyone is watching Porro and thinks he's the second best right back in the league, this is where football and stats have killed football. He is easy to get at. Where a lot of those... oh my God, he is.
Saliba got spun by the left wing of Lens twice last night. Completely spun and dribbled past twice last night. So is he
talking about
dog water?
But this is every game from Porro.
It's not.
What are you watching?
It's literally not.
Oh my...
You're projecting small moments in a 90-minute game and projecting that over the entire season. That's just not the reality of it.
Did you watch the Chelsea game?
Yeah, I did.
Did you not see Sterling every time they gave the ball to Sterling and let him run at Porro? because Porro didn't know what to do.
How many times did Porro get dribbled past in that game?
I haven't got the stats in front of me. I just remember watching the game going, he's got his man. Bellegarde against Wolves, another one. Every ball they played in, through to Bellegarde. What did Villa do in the first half? What did everything Villa do in the first half? Digne down the left. Digne and John McGinn over on the left, over against Porro. This guy is not a good defensive fullback. Brilliant going forward. There is not a chance he's the second best right back in the Premier League.
He is literally the second best right back in the league this season, behind Kieran Trippier.
On that note,
so he's
guys, I'm going to shoot off. I've got to go. Guys, much love to you all and the chat as well. Thank you very much. I'll see you all next week.
Chelsea had a bad performance.
Chelsea had a bad. Cheers, Has. Chelsea had a bad. Sorry. I can't believe what I'm listening to. So he's been better this season than Kyle Walker.
Yes.
It's hard work, isn't it, Perchy? Like, what are we doing? This is why our fans get taken the piss out of for thinking we're winning the league. It's this.
Come on, man.
How on Porro is every team that plays us goes down the left because that's our weakest area.
It's not though. Right.
Oh God!
Against Wolves, he was the second best player in our back line against Wolves. He had 5 clearances, 1 interception, 4 tackles. Right?
This is the problem when you talk to your stats. Watch the game. Watch the game.
I watched the game.
He's taken
you need
on
to demonstrate that he's been poor. What did he do bad?
He gets taken on by his man at will. At will, he gets taken on by his man.
Every time then he wouldn't have 5 tackles, 4 clearances, all of those things. If that was
of course he would, because the inevitability is the inevitability is that they attack down that left-hand side so much that he's going to win some of the tackles. But why do teams target us down the left? Because he can't defend.
The number of defensive actions far outweighs the number of times he was dribbled past in every game.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a simple
more
question?
Times than not, he's successful at stopping them.
I have no idea. Football's gone. Football stats.
No, because
this
you
is
want to
why
say things that aren't true. Don't blame statistics. Statistics are
oh
just
my
reporting
God.
things on things.
God,
you're saying Pedro's bad defensively. He's not.
He is.
You have to demonstrate it. You can't say he is. That's an inclusive claim. You're stating that it is a fact.
Oh my God. I just watch him as a fullback and go, you can't defend,
That's your opinion. That's not fact.
Oh my God. I've got no idea. The problem is when fans like you watch the game through stats, this is what you get. This is what you get when you don't
defend your opinion. I watched the game with my eyes. I don't think he's a bad defender.
Oh my
you
God.
do. Who's right here? You can't say something is a fact, Savva, when it's
you
not.
just said he's been better than Kyle Walker. I mean, this is just
statistically. He has a higher statistical score.
Will, hang on. Will, the problem with statistics, right? The problem with statistics is Porro and Kyle Walker won't have been run at as many times as each other. Porro and Kyle Walker play different positions on the football pitch as a right back. Who do you trust when that ball goes over the top, Porro or Walker? Who do you trust one-on-one with a tackle, Porro or Walker? You're not telling me you've watched Kyle Walker for Man City this season and said Porro's a better right back. That is madness. That is absolutely
Pedro Porro
madness.
has been played better than Kyle Walker this season.
Okay, but Will, here's a one.
I'm
Man City going in at the end of the season to buy Pedro Porro to replace Kyle Walker? No, they're not.
No, because he can't defend.
I think Porro he's not a very good defender. He's good. Always caveat that. Going forward, I think he's brilliant. When he gets into our final
that's
third,
part of being a fullback, is it not?
Defensively, he's not for me.
Look, statistics can't be manipulated. Nobody can manipulate.
They can.
Stats.
Oh, they really can.
Going into the website and changing the numbers.
They can.
Pick and choose.
Who's going into the website and changing the numbers?
No one said that. No one said that, Will.
That's
no one
the
said
only
that.
way you can manipulate the statistics.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I'm sorry. When I sit and watch every game, I'm watching teams go down the left-hand side and thinking, yeah, that's what every game before we play, Perchy and I watch it, I go, I know what I would do if I was the manager here. I get him the ball, let him run at Porro. And Porro is caught out of position time and time. There's no stats for that. He's caught out of position time and time again. Caught out of position. He is targeted. Right,
guy
I
dribbles the
warned
ball
you.
past
Coys 54,
you
I
get caught
warned
out of
you.
position.
I'm not going to have these lies. It's ridiculous. Go away.
It's just a debate, people, isn't it? Obviously.
I'm sorry. The second best right back in the league. This is.
Yeah.
Agree to disagree, guys.
I can't. Stel, I can't. This is what you know. What on my 10 in 10s that I've been doing, where people have been saying
You have no evidence to base that he's not.
I don't need evidence. I've watched
evidence.
so much football in my life, and I'm watching this right back.
Your opinion is not fact, Savva. Your opinion, your knowledge of football is not greater than mine.
Will, you rate some awful. You've got some awful takes. Some awful
So do
takes.
you.
That is the second
Your
best
takes
right
are
back in the
awful as
league.
well.
The second best right back in the league.
Yes, this season he has been the second best right back in the league.
Percy, I'll be honest, Percy, I look at it and go, I can't see what, apart from, I always caveat, apart from his attacking stats, I look and go, he's good. Like him going forward.
Attacking stats are part of being a fullback. Fullback's attack.
But why?
Yes, we said defensively. He can't. He's not good defensively. Going forward, he's very good.
Didn't say he's the second best defender in the league. I say he's the second best fullback. That's what I said. Right back.
Can I
ask you a question? When are we doing this raffle thing for the shirts?
Literally as we end the show.
All right, can we do it? Only because I have to leave and I want to see who wins.
Yeah.
Defender, Kieran Trippier or Kyle Walker?
Kyle Walker all day, every day.
So why Kieran Trippier is being rated as by everyone as the best right back in the league this season?
Oh my God! I mean, who you? If someone offers you right now, Kyle Walker or Kieran Trippier, who are you taking in your back four?
Me for this team, for my team.
You're taking Trippier, ain't you? Of course you are. Of course you are.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
The amount of
Kyle Walker is the
Trippier...
perfect postecoglou fullback. He is the perfect postecoglou fullback.
Not 35 years old. He's not.
No, hang on. No, we're not talking about his age. We're talking about them as players.
Kieran Trippier right now, or Walker this year, where he is, who he is as a player. His age is irrelevant.
I'm going to stop the show. I can't have this waffle on my show.
Do the raffle.
It's embarrassing.
It's not waffle.
It's embarrassing. Huh?
Don't call it waffle.
Oh, it's massive waffle. Do you know? Remember when you waffled last season that Liverpool would finish below Spurs? Do you remember that?
And they did.
You remember this year?
Got sacked.
Do you remember this year when you said Spurs are going to finish above Arsenal? That's going to be waffle as well. They won't. You know they won't. And when they don't, you'll have a reason why as well.
Opinions are waffle?
I've just given you a fact about Liverpool last year.
Okay, so when I said that they would finish above, Tottenham would finish above Liverpool last year, up until April, were we above Liverpool? Up until Antonio Conte got sacked, were we above
Season's
Liverpool?
38 games.
Yes or no?
Season's 38 games.
Right, because I predicted that Antonio Conte is going to get sacked with 10 games left, and Brian Mason's going to take it and trash and dump the whole thing into a river.
Conte was trashing the whole thing all by himself before, hence why he went.
Our results in the league were fine before he took over.
Really?
2 wins,
Are
2
we going to do that
in the last 5? It's fact. 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in the last 5.
I've no idea what's happening here. Even when Will is wrong, he's trying to find a way to show he's right. Where did Liverpool finish last season?
They finished 5th.
Where did Spurs finish?
We finished 8th.
So who finished higher?
Liverpool did.
So were you wrong?
I was wrong.
Done. There's nothing else to it. You were wrong.
But the reason I was wrong.
You will be wrong. You will be wrong this time about Arsenal and Spurs as well.
We'll see.
We will see. We will. And when you're wrong, you'll find, but the injuries and the stats tell you this. You'll be wrong again.
We'll see. As long as Postecoglou doesn't get sacked in the last 10 games, we'll see.
Sorry, you do realise. First and foremost.
We can do. Well,
hang on. Conte was not sacked. You do realise that. Conte was not sacked.
Mutual.
Conte said himself.
We don't know.
Conte said himself in the interview he gave. Conte said himself.
We don't care about Conte. He's gone. Let's do the raffle.
Wasn't sacked.
Yeah, get some order back. We're going to do the giveaway now, guys.
Let's
giveaway now.
See who wins this.
Giveaway time.
I just some of the worst opinions I've ever heard in my life.
It's not an opinion.
Guys, in the chat, hashtag love Spurs now, or you will not.
You've got 1 minute. 1 minute.
Hashtag love Spurs. If you've not put it in the chat, everyone's.
I agree. He's got to be at this stage.
I'm not showing at all. Who's the second highest goal scorer in the league so far this season?
You guys.
Is that an
just
opinion?
can't. I just can't.
Mohamed Salah.
Can I say,
that an
like,
opinion?
fans in the comments saying, I'm not typing love Spurs because you're Arsenal fans, then you won't get the free shirt.
You won't
all
get
you gotta
involved
do.
in it. So it's up to
Yeah,
you.
Mark, exactly. Spurs were falling apart under Conte. It was awful. But that's the reason why we didn't.
Look at the last 5 results. Did I lie?
I find it
Did I lie?
hilarious.
Yes or no?
I mean,
Was I accurate
Pedro
on the
Porro and
results
Carl
in the
Walker.
league
This is hilarious.
before he got sacked?
That's absolutely hilarious.
Let's give some stuff. Let's give a shirt away.
Can't hang on. So what am I looking at? The Spurs results when? 22-23.
No. This is going to go
I think
another
we all
10
know
minutes.
that under
Please.
Conte it was falling apart.
It was falling apart. How anyone can say it wasn't? This is madness.
We were
Free-
fourth when
free
Conte
Stel and
got sacked,
Perchy.
man.
We
Free
were
purchase.
fourth, but our form was going like that.
Yeah,
we
but-
were falling apart.
2 wins, 2
Hey,
draws,
hang on,
no loss.
hang on, no, because saying that we were fourth, I always say this to people. It's very. We played more games than people. I think we played 2 or more games than a few teams below us. So, yes, we were fourth, but we were only a point ahead of teams that had only played 2 less games than us, right? So that
What was his last game?
What
What was his
April
last game?
12th. That's when he got
We
sacked, I think.
still-
So,
I think Stel
What was
needs
his
to
last
go.
game?
We need to go away.
What was his last game?
I gotta look
If
it
you
up.
need to
I don't
go,
have
go.
it memorized. I know the results because I've looked
Right,
it up
it was the
before,
game
but I don't.
after
April
Southampton.
12th, when he got
Okay.
sacked.
What was his last
Southampton,
game?
The dross.
It was the
Last
game
Southampton,
after
yeah?
Southampton, wasn't
Hold
it?
on.
Southampton,
Let
wasn't
me
it?
pull it up.
Okay, so we drew with Southampton.
Wasn't
wasn't
his last one?
It was the one after his mum, I think it was.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. He wasn't
Guys,
manager for Everton.
Savva Perchy, Will, good night. Thank you
Good
for
night,
the show.
Stel.
Everyone in the comments, big up. Enjoy the raffle giveaway and see you next week.
His last game was Southampton. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a draw.
Okay. And it was awful. We capitulated.
Still a
under
draw,
him.
man.
It really doesn't matter. We lost to Wolves 1-0, drew 0-0 with AC Milan, drew with Southampton.
In the league.
We beat.
Talking about the
Hang
league.
on, no,
form.
hang on. This is not what we. Hang on, this is what I mean. Like you could twist everything.
No,
His
because
form-
we're talking about us finishing 4th and dropping off and finishing below Liverpool. Our form in Champions League is irrelevant to my prediction of if we're finishing above Liverpool.
But it all comes in together because that
Context,
form
though,
forms
right?
his form going into those
form
games.
In the competitions does not affect league form. People play
Of
well
course
in other
it does.
competitions and they don't.
So-
No, it doesn't.
So if you lose midweek 3-0, you've got more confidence going into the weekend, or you're a bit deflated. Come on, this is mental.
Depends on who plays in that competition on the weekend. It depends on the player. Maybe it amps them up. Maybe you lost and you're like, I got to get something out. They try harder. You don't know how it's mentally going to affect the player.
I can't believe that any Tottenham fan was watching that last 7 to 10 games under Conte and couldn't see that how unbearable it was.
You know I wasn't Conte out then. You know it wasn't unbearable for me. So how could you say that?
I know, but the fact that it wasn't was worrying.
Because our form in the league wasn't as bad as people were making it out to be. That's why.
Oh my God! Football isn't just about the form in the league; it's all of the
so
games.
The league is a different competition than
why
other cup
can't we agree to
competitions.
disagree and go? Listen, we've got to wrap up. We've got to do a giveaway.
I can't understand. He lost the bet, and now it's but I was right until we got sacked. That's not how football works. It is 38 games of the season.
Did you predict that before the season started, when that bet was made, right?
Didn't need to. I predicted
That-
Liverpool.
That
would
Conte
finish
was
above
going
us.
to get sacked 10 games before
That
the season.
wasn't the bet.
I
I don't know if you understand how betting works. That wasn't my bet. If I bet on a horse winning this weekend,
Yeah, but
my
you're
bet.
not a
No,
bookie.
let
I'm
me
not going
finish.
to a bookie.
No. My bet, if I bet on a horse winning this weekend, isn't about what will happen to any of the other horses in that race. My bet is this horse will win. I don't care how it happens. My bet was Liverpool are better than us. They will finish above us. And they
you
did
don't
finish
get your
above
money
us.
But
back.
it was
if the
based
ball-
on the better than. They weren't better than us for the majority of the season.
They were better than us. 38 games does not lie. They were better than us. Their form, the second half of the season, was on fire. Right? They were better than us. Yes or no?
Over 38 games, they were better than yes. I've
There
already
you go.
said that.
But that's what it is.
But for
Like,
75% of the season, we were better than them.
It's the same as the people saying this
And
year.
they made
After
up the
10
gap
games,
in the
we're in a
last
title race.
25%.
10 games isn't a title race. Like 10 games
No,
isn't.
but it still means that we were the best team over those 10 games.
Sure, but a season isn't over 10 games. That's the point. This is what no football fan seems to understand anymore. Football isn't about 10 games, 75%. Football is about a 38-game season. Yeah. And this is why whenever I'm having debates with people, Will, when they tell me, oh, City aren't as good as last year, City this year, I always say, City do it when it matters. When it comes to the business end of the season, City go, yeah, go on then.
No argument for me on the City side. City is
Right.
definitely by far
Liverpool,
the far
again,
favorite
another team. As the season goes on, they'll get stronger.
Yeah, they need midfield. They need strength in their midfield. Because Curtis Jones ain't cutting it. There's a lot of players that aren't cutting it. McAllister has dropped in form.
I mean, for a team that aren't cutting it, they're still above us, right?
Huh?
I mean, for a team that aren't cutting it, they're still above us, right?
Well, I mean, because they haven't lost, their four of their five best players for 3 weeks.
Again, it doesn't matter. They're still above us. You don't know they could still be above us without that.
You got to apply the context, right?
I'm applying the context, but
you're not.
At the end of the day, but I am
better than them with those players in our squad.
We were better than them. I watched them come to our ground.
We were better than them over 10 games. You said the table doesn't lie.
Okay, right? So let's play the Will Stewart game. I'm using
your logic that you
okay, and I'm going to
ago.
use yours. And I'm going to use yours then.
Okay.
We all know why we were better than them, because we got a very undeserved win against them at our ground.
Okay, we were far more than 3 points ahead of them.
But we can't. Football doesn't rely on 10 games.
We're 5 points ahead of Liverpool and Arsenal going into that Chelsea game.
But the thing is it means nothing in the grand scheme of things, because let's be honest with ourselves. Liverpool are going to finish above us this season.
We've dropped 9 points. Arsenal got 9 points. We were 4 points behind Arsenal. That's 5 clear. We were 5 clear going into that game.
But we've played.
And who was better in that game?
But hang on, that first 10 games, I always stand by this. We played 7 of the bottom 10, and we played 7. So we played 5 of the bottom 7, and all of the 3 teams in the relegation zone.
So you can't. When you're saying 5 of the bottom 7 and all of this, the table was shifting every week.
Yeah,
right?
That's exactly the point.
You have to go off of what this team's strength is.
Hold on. Every week.
Hold on.
And because,
you have to go on the difficulty coefficients.
Hang on. I haven't had much to say, but my point is the table does shift every week. But that's the point, because the table doesn't shift after 38 games. Because after 38 games, it's over.
When we played Man United, they weren't in the bottom half of the table, and they're not in the bottom half of the table now. They were had a time below 10th during the middle of the season after we had played them. So you could say maybe the teams that played them when they were middle of the table, but they weren't when we played them. They weren't.
But that doesn't mean any difference.
And they're not now.
It makes no difference.
It does make a difference, because you can't say Man United was a bottom half table team when we played them.
The league table
Man United a bottom half team when we played them.
Huh? Who?
We're Man United a bottom half team when we played them.
Doesn't matter.
I never said that. I never said that they were.
Of course it doesn't matter. What have Man United got to do with this?
Okay, so when people are talking about the fixture difficulty that we faced, right? You just said we played 7 of the bottom half teams.
Yeah, we did. Of the first 10, we played 3 of the top 10.
Okay.
Man United. It was Man United, Arsenal, and Liverpool.
Right. Do you want? Shall I read them out? Here's our games. We played. I don't know if anyone's got. Hang on, let me get the Premier League table up as well. Hang on. One second. Premier League table. Right. So in the Premier League table, obviously I don't know where they were at that moment, but I can see.
You can search there you go. By the week.
That's all right. Yeah. Right. So Brentford. Right. We played Brentford, who are bottom half. Right.
Now
we played. Yeah, but. Okay, but it shows they're not that good. Bournemouth, bottom half. Fulham, bottom half. Burnley, bottom half. Sheffield United, bottom half. Luton, bottom half. Crystal Palace, bottom half. Chelsea, bottom half. Wolves, bottom half. This season, the only teams we've played that are in the top 10 are Liverpool, Arsenal, Villa and Man United. So of our 13 games, 9 have been against the bottom half.
Yeah, we have but once we've played Newcastle Newcastle, not even Newcastle. Once we play Manchester City, we will have played all of the top 6 teams.
Yeah, but so far 9.
We played Arsenal, 13... Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, Villa.
But so far, only 4 of the games we've played have been against the top 10. 9 have been against the bottom half of the table, which is the weakest half of the teams. So
and
when we're
Arsenal
saying
played the same thing. Hold on, this is what I'm saying.
This was about Liverpool, not Arsenal. This was about Liverpool, not Arsenal.
We're talking about this
was
season.
about, but but this was about Liverpool, right?
Yeah,
we're
Liverpool
saying the game
was the exact same way.
Liverpool. Well, what's the date? What was Liverpool's first game of the season? Anyone know?
Newcastle, I think.
Chelsea. So Liverpool have played Chelsea bottom half. Boom. So they've played Newcastle top half, Villa top half, West Ham top half, Tottenham top half, Brighton top half, and Man City top half. So they've played 6 of the top 10. They've played 6 of the top 10 and 7 of the bottom. We've played 9. So if we're going to we can do that all day long, right? I don't know. I don't think we were better than them. I think we had easier games and we scraped through some of them games. But this is the thing. When we start judging league tables after 10 games and start saying we're better than them after 10 games, better than them, it doesn't tell the full story. Wait till you've played 20 games and wait till you've played 19.
You played 19. You've played everyone once.
Yeah,
right?
I've played everyone once.
That's fine. But right now, we're only 2 points behind Liverpool.
Sure. Do you think we're better than Liverpool?
Games, I think it's fair.
Do you think we're better than Liverpool? You think we're better than Arsenal?
No, I think
top? Do you think
Liverpool
we're better than
finished
Liverpool?
I think Liverpool finished second this year.
But Arsenal, you don't think they're going to finish top 4, do you?
Arsenal finished 4th.
And we're going to finish 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, right. Well, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. So, what you're going? City, Liverpool, Spurs,
City,
Arsenal.
Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, and then probably it's either going to be Man United or Newcastle if Man United can turn a new leaf, right? Both those 2 teams have been too inconsistent for me.
Okay, but
Villa maybe, but I don't think that they'll do well once they get deep into the other European competitions with handling the league stress. But it's between those 3.
If that doesn't happen,
Villa, United, Newcastle's between the 5th spot.
Okay, right. I guess that's a good place to leave the show. So let's see at the end of the season, Will. Let's see.
Let's see.
Let's see if I can go 2 for 2 being correct.
As long as Postecoglou doesn't get sacked 10 games in.
No. Listen, when you make football predictions, you have to realize anything can happen. Injuries.
I'm making it based on the context of our team now, right? Yeah.
But the thing is, this is why when I was having the debates with people about after 10 games why Spurs can't win a league, I took into account in all of my debates injuries, suspensions, form.
Yeah, but if the injuries had been sprinkled over time, it wouldn't have had as big of impact as it's having right now.
We don't know that. No one knows that.
Yeah,
no, you don't.
It's
you
simple
think
math.
That.
No, it's
Okay,
math.
I'm here to talk football. I'm not here to talk math. I'm here to talk football. I heard you do the simple math last year when we were going to finish above Liverpool, and it didn't work. So simple math last year let you down.
It was working just fine until Antonio got sacked.
Oh,
he did. I've got to end the shot. I can't even
give away a shirt.
That's just true.
No, it's not. We were
multiple over 10 points ahead of Liverpool at the time when Conte got sacked.
We were declining though.
We were going like that.
Not in the league.
Yes, in the league. That's why everyone was catching us up, and we had played 3 games more than the teams below us.
We
got to remember
2
that.
Games more than Liverpool. I've already gone.
Okay, I'm doing the shirt draw. This is even when you're wrong, it's like you can't take it. Can't take it. It was just wrong about Liverpool.
I'm wrong, but I was wrong because X. There's context.
Because you were wrong. Because Liverpool are better than us.
It's not simply black and white. There's context to it.
So why did Conte go? If everything was going well, why did he go?
Because he didn't like the situation that he was in at the club. Didn't like the board. Didn't like the players' attitudes.
We were awful under Conte last year.
So we were 4th all the way into April.
We were all.
We played through. Anyway, no.
Anyway, let's give the shirt away, man.
All night, and I'm shattered.
Let's give the shirt away. Okay, let's. Hang on. How can I do this? It's not on.
You just got to share your screen.
Yeah, no, it's not. For some reason, I don't know why I did it. I did it on. It wasn't on a Chrome tab for some reason. How can I bring up my? I've done it on my I've done it on my my Firefox thing. For some reason, it wouldn't let me do it on Chrome.
Firefox.
I can't find out how to bring it up. Here we go.
Click present, click share screen, and just put it on.
Is it there?
There you go. Boom.
Right. So
Boom,
can everyone see that? Right. So I'm going to press draw. I've got no way of manipulating this.
Go on.
Hang on, Perchy. Trying to sort something out. Hang on.
Oh.
Right. You've got to let me know within 30 seconds if you're in the chat.
Yeah. You have to comment in the chat if you're here.
Chasey 7766. Chasey 7766. We need you in the next 30 seconds to type in that you are here. Let us know that you're in the chat. If you are in the chat, let us know.
Here he is.
Is he there?
Yep, he's there.
Yes, perfect. Chasey, have you got Instagram? If you have, message Football Heritage TV. We will get your details over the next 24 hours. We will find out your shirt size, your address, all that good stuff, and we will get a shirt to you. Chasey, I think you're a Spurs fan. If not, let us know, Chasey. Who do you support? And let us know the country you live in. Let us know the country you live in. I had to send one of these to Texas the other week. That cost me probably more than the shirt. Chasey, where do you live? Listen, by the way, Will, thanks. I know we always have ding-dong battles, but it's all good, man. It's all good.
It's good, man. All good.
Everybody.
Good, man, I'm good. Don't worry about me.
No, I know. I just worry that people in the chat think that everything's bad and blah, blah, blah. Chasey, let us know where you live. Everybody, thank you so much. Really enjoyed the show. Very lively. Lots of good debates. Thank you so much for all the likes. Thank you to everyone that did subscribe. We really appreciate it. We try and keep our shows high octane, high energy, strong debates. Perchy will be running all of the lives for the next 10 days from Saturday because I will not be here. So please look after him, help him out, keep him sane, and listen, love you lots.
And also, guys, before we do go, 10 a.m., the start of the Football Heritage Advent Calendar. So make sure you check it out. It's ready at 10 a.m. So and we'll be going all the way up till Christmas Eve.
No, what we've done, Will, is we've got a calendar. So for every day for the 24 days of December of Christmas, we've picked the number one and picked two players at Spurs that wore a number one and debated who was better, all the way up to 24. Some of them were a landslide, I think, and others
some of them have been really. Exactly, we had really good times with it. It's all good.
It was good to reminisce.
Do they put chocolates in advent calendars in the UK?
Yeah, it's just hard to do it over the internet, like. No,
it's like because we have different culture and customs, right? Like for us, they come advent calendars are about this thick, and inside is like a little chocolate in each day. That way, when the kid opens it up, normal advent calendar. I'll just ask everybody on the way out, please smash the like. We've had over 500 people at one point. Smash the like. Hope everyone enjoyed the debates. Will, thank you so much for coming on. We always appreciate your time. Anytime.
Love the debates.
Anytime.
Love the debates. And I'll be honest. I would much rather me and you go at it hammer and tong than have 5 people on the chat that all agree. It would be a very, very boring world. Much love, everyone. See you later. Perchy, thank you as always. Big up to Susie because she does so much behind the scenes. Big up to you. Take care, everyone.
Behind the scenes.
Big up, Susie.
She really does. Take care. See you later. And as always, Gareth Southgate out. And come on, you Spurs.